Hello and welcome to The Flicksters, the place where two movie geeks bring you everything you need to know about movies, TV and much more. Download our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Castbox and Anchor. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. We will see you there. Make sure I wrote it down nice and cleanly this time, so there's no
mess ups. Okay, right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Flicksters. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to download us week in, week out.
I like that. I like what you done there.
Exactly. No, seriously, thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for downloading this week's episode. We've got a cracking show for you. We've got loads of stuff. We've got the regulars. We've got film news. We've got film reviews. We've got anniversary corner. We've got hidden gems. You know what? Let's just get into it, Deval.
It's fully packed today.
It is.
They're in for a good show today, I've got to say.
Exactly. So let's just start off. And one of the things that I wanted to mention straight away was, you know how we realised that Joaquin Phoenix is going to be the new Joker, right, in this dark...
Yeah, DC Dark.
Yeah, we're calling it the DC Dark, right?
I think they're calling it that, actually. I think they're officially calling it the DC Dark
universe.
Yeah, something like that.
I thought we came up with that.
Well, I think we did, and they heard our show, and then they thought, you know what? They thought, yeah, guys, these Flicksters are onto something. We need to follow what they're saying. Let's go real dark.
So you know the whole thing. I think a couple of weeks ago you mentioned, look, Joaquin Phoenix is playing the Joker, and then Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
He's attached somehow producing or whatever.
Executive producing, yep.
And maybe that was enough of a pull for, check this out, Robert De Niro to get involved in the project.
De Niro.
The Godfather is going to be joining the comic book universe. Like, can you believe it?
Wow, okay. They're getting the gangsters in, yeah?
You know what? This is going to be...
Scorsese picked up his phone and said, De Niro, what are you doing next weekend? Hey, what are you doing, man? He's like, yeah, I ain't doing nothing, man, but... Fancy being in my Joker film, be another gangster? He's like, yeah, man, I'll be a gangster for you. I was a gangster for you, man,
You got you got to do it in like the way he did a Taxi Driver. Hey,
you looking at me? You talking to me?
So when I read about this, I was like, wow, like Robert De Niro, this is like Oscar-winning, like method actor.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a comic book film, so I think he's going to bring a lot of kind of gravitas to the role.
Yeah, of course.
And what's this next one over here? Legion. Tell me about this one. This seems wicked. Go on.
Okay, so there's a lot of changes that happened over the past few months or years with the DC extended universe or whatever they want to call it. But yeah, there was, at the end of, was it Batman, Superman versus Batman, whatever it's called, that one,
yeah.
At the end of, was it the end of Justice League? See, I get mixed up, but at the end of it, we had, what's his name? Lex Luthor.
He was in prison. No,
he was in a boat. He escaped prison.
And who turned up?
Yeah, and Deathstroke turned up. Yeah. So was that at the end of Batman, Superman, or was that at the end of Justice League?
Justice League.
I was like, there you go. So at the end of Justice League, we get that post-credit scene. It was meant to set up because I think Lex Luthor said, "Oh, we need to have a team of our own because the Justice League have got a team." So there was talk of them having a sort of Legion of Doom team happening. So this is a Legion of Doom is like all the baddies basically.
Oh,
all the big bads from DC ganging up and taking on Justice League and.
Does that mean like the Joker?
So is that going to be the Joker in there as well? Luthor, the Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, all the the big bads all getting together, and that was what it was setting up to be. But now it looks like those plans have been pushed back. We know a few weeks ago, or months ago, Jeff Johns stepped down from his role of the head honcho of DC movies, and now Walter Hamada is the one that is doing that. He's the one that's pulling the strings, up there on the DC mounting, as you want to call it. And so it looks like that those Legion of Doom plans have been pushed back. So we don't know what's going to happen with that team. If that's going to maybe trickle, maybe those players, those big bads may still pop up in different films, but maybe they may not have that ensemble bad team come out until much later.
And what do you think? It's because DC don't know how to do the ensemble thing just yet?
I think so. I think with what happened with Justice League, maybe too much too soon.
Yeah.
And they don't want to make the same mistake.
And here's just briefly, I want to get your thoughts on this. The ending of the Justice League, where we introduced a Deathstroke. What did you think of that as a whole, kind of doing that? Was it too much, or?
I think I like Deathstroke, and I think that the person that is going to play Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello, I think his name is.
We saw him in Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. Well, I didn't actually watch Magic Mike.
Really? Because last week you said to me you love that movie.
Nah. I lied to you. But I've seen him a lot in True Blood. He was in True Blood.
Yeah.
And he's a really good character in that.
And he's married to.
He's married to someone, actually. He's married
Sofia Vergara.
Vergara, yes, from Modern Family. Jinx, you can't talk now. So yes, and actually he went for the part of Superman.
What?
A while ago, because he's a beefy guy, you know. He has got stature.
Flicksters, check this out. What? I
didn't even know this. He went for Superman.
Oh,
I can sort of see why he had that. But I think they wanted someone a bit more wholesome. He's quite a rugged character, and I don't think he has that, truth, justice, and American way kind of attitude. So
he does look darker, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
So I think he could bring the
him
pain.
as Deathstroke. He's good. So I do want to see what he can do as Deathstroke.
Sure. Okay, and what's this about Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan. Have you've not seen it, have you?
No,
Attack on Titan's a manga. Oh my gosh, this manga is wicked.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. Okay, a bit of their story. So Attack on Titan. Is sometime, actually, you know what, is it in the future or is it in the past? I can't remember, but I think it's near Japan, and basically the human race is is getting the shit kicked out of them.
There's
these Titan characters, these Titan monsters, giants.
Yeah.
So they're like they're humanoids. Most of them are humanoid. Some of them are a bit weird, but they're massive. They're like 50 feet tall. Well, some of them are like the size of a small house. Some of them are the size of like a small skyscraper.
Wow,
it's crazy. And they're lifeless. All they want to do is attack humans and eat them. And when they get humans, they eat them. They bite off their heads.
Yeah,
they rip them apart. It's like the human race they've now got these little factions, like little strongholds.
And they're fighting back.
Yeah, so the Titans attack them, and the humans fight. They fight and they coordinate. They've got good coordination. They've got good soldiers, and they've got these soldiers. They've got rangers, different factions. So if you go in, it's a bit like Starship Troopers, but on Earth.
Right. Okay.
So imagine that. Remember Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
You sign up for the Force.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to sign up because they want to protect the human race, and they fight these Titans. It's really good.
Wow.
But but without going into spoilers, there's a lot more than what I'm describing. There's different there's these Titans the humans have an ability to control one of the Titans.
Yeah.
Also, the way they fight the Titans is with these special kind of. They're a little bit like Spider-Man. They've got these like contraptions. Like they've got a sword and they've got this thing that it's a bit like a spider's web, like Spider-Man, where they can shoot onto a building and like grapple onto it and shoot into another building. So they sort of go flying around, slicing these Titans. It is really good. Season 1 and season 2 was crazy.
A lot of great stuff. Like Japan, they have like a rich history of, these fantastic characters, animation, like manga, brilliant storylines. And I think there's just so much there.
Yeah.
And this is obviously just kind of like a sidestep to that. Have you heard of Castlevania?
Castlevania, yeah.
Apparently there's like season 2 of that.
On Netflix, is that out yet? It's coming out soon, isn't it?
It's coming out pretty soon. And
that's quite old school. A lot of people were talking about how good it was because it kept to its original format.
Yeah.
The animation was quite old school.
Yeah.
It didn't look too much like computer graphics and so on. It looked quite old school, which was good.
I'm reading about Castlevania and I'm like, wow, this is brilliant. Let's talk about Dracula in there and let's talk about the undead and like all this shit going on. I was like, I've got to check this out.
That's on Netflix. So guys, catch that on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Also, I just wanted to mention, talking about Netflix. So let me get it right. Do you remember, I think it was about a year ago, or like 2015, 2016, The Jungle Book came out.
Yeah.
And
one about John Favreau.
Scarlett
Johansson and people like that in it.
Yeah. So that was Disney brought that out.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Warner Brothers, they were making their own version of it, which was called Mowgli. Which
Andy Serkis is in it,
that's
I think.
it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like going to be a darker take. But what happened was Disney just got there. They got there first.
That Disney money, man. That Disney money.
Exactly. They got there first. They released the film and it did a shitload of money. And what happened was Andy Serkis and his team were like, right, shit, what do we do now? Because Disney's already there. They got the market. We're going to have to wait. They waited. Warner Brothers said, look, we're not going to release it. However, Netflix came in and said, we'll buy it. We'll release it on Netflix coming in 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's going to be a Netflix exclusive. And yeah, I saw the trailer for it and it's dark.
Looks all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, and the industry insiders are saying it's a really, really big win for Netflix because it's a Warner Brothers film.
Yeah.
And they've decided to push it out there and get more people to see it. And apparently Andy Serkis and all the actors, everyone's involved, they're really happy about it.
Oh, cool.
So that's coming.
Cool.
So we'll watch that one. Oh, and another big news, the Fox Disney deal. It's been done and dusted. It's been signed.
Are you sure? Because I keep hearing it's done and then.
Well, I mean, like, listen. I mean, I read Forbes magazine, right? And Forbes magazine, they pride themselves on being like, you know, they vet their stories, they vet their journalists and everything like that. And it turned up on Forbes magazine. So
it must be.
I'm thinking there's got to be truth to this. So I was reading this, and what I wanted to ask you was, what does it now mean for X-Men and Fantastic Four?
Well, from what I hear, I mean, if the deal is done, it will take time before we see the outcome of the deal on our screens, because it does take time for the finance people, the clearance people, the legal people to do their work. So I don't think we're going to see any massive changes to, you know, the films that they have coming out, or the films that they're going to release, or even the films that they're working on at the moment. So I think we'll probably see this come to fruition in a couple of years, I reckon.
Right.
So we're talking, I know X-Men is coming out. That's been pushed back, actually. Dark Phoenix is now coming out in February, I believe. It's meant to be in November. So I don't know if...
Oh, could that be the whole Aquaman
competition? Possibly, yeah. They've had to do reshoots for... Dark Phoenix. So I'm not sure if they got some trouble there, or maybe they're holding out because of this deal. I don't know.
Reshoots usually means
trouble.
trouble.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, Kevin Feige did say that if this deal goes ahead, you know, it will. He's already planning. He's a planner. He's a planner. So he's planned for the deal to go ahead and the deal not to go ahead.
Yeah.
So if it does go ahead, I mean, he likes the Fantastic Four. It's been done. They've failed.
What? How many times now? How many?
A few times. I think the Chris Evans one and stuff like that. That was a bit light.
Yeah.
And I think it done okay. But the one that came out in 2015 was just a massive flop compared to what it should have been.
There were some good things in there.
Yeah, the first half was good, and it just messed up.
Yeah. Like I said before, like Michael B. Jordan, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And what were the other things that they were saying about this deal? But you're absolutely right. We're not going to see anything come out like next year.
Not yet.
Not even in 2 years' time. So they've got to develop.
What I think will happen and should happen is the sort of Civil War model. So I think if they do have characters that are going to be from the Fox world introduced into the Marvel sort of Disney world, they should introduce them. They should trickle to the way they introduced Spider-Man, the way they introduced Black Panther. They didn't like bring them out straight away. They sort of, you know, brought them in to help the rest of the cast, and we got to know a bit about them. Then they had their own film. Also, I've heard that they might have almost like Secret Wars could happen, where there's people that Secret Wars is a massive story within the sort of Marvel world, and it has characters from all over the Marvel world. So that could happen with all these characters. But to get to that stage, I've heard there could be a series of events that leads, like, you know, the Avengers 4.
Yeah.
There could be a change in reality. Oh. Yeah, so because that whole Snatcher that happened, it's changed reality. So as a result of reality coming back, people from the Fox universe could now leak into this universe. So that's how we could that could be the reason why we're having Wolverine and all those people coming into this world, and because before then no one spoke about them, so it's a bit weird to just have them come in.
Yeah,
but this could be the reason. This
is
could
the
be
inroad.
Yes,
and the fact that this deal is kind of gone through, which I think it has. Maybe the writers of Avengers Part 4.
Yep.
Hang on, but that's already been done?
Yes,
though, isn't it?
It's not going to happen now. But I mean, that event could trickle the series of events that brings these people into our world. So I think that's the perfect moment to then have the explainer of, okay, so the reality is being changed. Who knows, who we're gonna.
Oh my God.
So it could be, So I think
what I'm kind of looking forward to. Obviously, they're going to have to recast Wolverine again. He's one of my favorites because I don't think Hugh Jackman's going to come back for one
unless
more.
Unless they write him a check he can't refuse. I mean. But he wanted to go out on a high. He wanted to go out on his own terms, and I respect that.
And Logan, what a way to go out, man! That film for me was pure class.
Pure class.
We saw that. Remember when we all got together and we watched that one? That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, loads of shit coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about Chucky.
Hi, my name's Chucky. Wanna play? I'm a good guy, doll.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
tell us about this.
Child's Play came out in 1988.
I remember this.
It's actually on our anniversary corner, but we'll come to that later. Yeah. So they're gonna reboot that, and they're gonna play homage to the original, because there have been a lot of sequels. There was one that came out in maybe 2-3 years ago.
Oh, was there? I thought there was 3.
Sequels have come out. Yeah, there's Bride of... I don't know when Bride of Chucky was, but there was a recent one. I can't remember what it was called, but I did see it, and I didn't watch it. But
no.
Yeah, so this one is going to be heavily invested. Liv Tyler's going to be in the role.
Wow.
And then this one's going to, I guess, trying to kick it off again properly.
Yeah.
You know, so I think... Child's Play is an old school film.
Is old school film, and I remember this when I watched this, and it was really popular.
Yeah.
It was, and it was just kind of creepy because obviously a toy, which is supposed to be
possessed by a killer, isn't it, or something?
Yeah. So he's got the power to. He's kind of like demonic, and then he's about to die, and then he sends his soul into the doll, and it becomes a killer doll.
Yeah.
What a premise, man.
You always think to yourself, can't you just kick it away or whatever? But for some reason, this Chucky doll somehow gets to get people.
Yeah, and you think about Annabelle.
Yeah.
Forget Annabelle. This is Chucky with a knife.
My name is Chucky. Wanna play? Remember that?
That's creepy, man. Don't do that. Seriously. Okay, so tell us about Henry here.
Henry Cavill, well, your mate Henry Cavill. I'm surprised he hasn't told you this already.
I know,
but
actually, let me check my phone.
So yeah, Henry Cavill, he actually said he really enjoyed Mission Impossible. It was a really good project for him. Obviously, the mustache gate, that kind of stuff. But
man,
it was a good project. He done well in the film. We'll talk about that in the review.
Yeah.
But he said that it kind of prepared him in mentality wise, and also I guess sort of story wise, spies and stuff like that, for the possibility of playing James Bond. And it's funny, I've never heard anyone mention him as James Bond, but he's he's got the looks, he's got the distinction of James Bond. He's a bit built, but that's by the by. But he's British as well.
Exactly.
He's got the suaveness. He was in that film with Armie Hammer. What was that film called? Uncle or something.
The Man from Uncle.
Yeah. So I mean, I reckon he could do a good job.
He could, and he's got that kind of, like you said, about that sophistication as well. And it's not like as if James Bond will be kind of like his first big budget film. No. I mean, you can't get bigger than Mission Impossible and Superman.
Yeah, he's been Superman, so come on.
Like
he's got the license to kill already, mate.
Exactly. So
he done General Zod. Yeah. Snap.
So that'll be a good shout. And I remember when they were talking about whether or not Daniel Craig is going to be in the next James Bond. I mean, he is.
Yeah, that's his last one, though, isn't it?
This is his last one. However, I remember when the whole debate was about who could play next, and there was a big shout for
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
And do you know what? I can see where they're going. Yeah,
but because they want to change it, they want to mix it up.
True. But I mean, when he goes to Russia and them places, he's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Come on, I mean, everyone's going to turn and just look at him and be like, it's him. He's not going to blend in. He's not going to blend in. He's like 6'4" or whatever as well.
He's built like a tank, man.
Exactly.
This guy is massive as well.
I reckon, do you know what? And if you guys are listening, is it MGM that does Bond or whatever?
Yeah.
If you guys are listening, 008, yeah. He may be a little late. He's running on black time, but I reckon there's a spin-off there. 008, yeah. Leave 007 for the James Bond, but 008. I reckon he can do a job 008, little spin-off. That's what I reckon.
Could do, that's actually not. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
that's what I reckon. Yeah.
I think a lot of people like there was like an online.
Petition or something.
Get Idris Elba into like James Bond, but I think there's like so many actors up for
Tom
it.
Hiddleston I think was mentioned.
Loki, oh my god, I'm not sure.
I can't see that. I can see maybe why, because he's in that sort of he's a British guy.
He can do sophistication as well.
Yeah, but I can see him being a better villain rather than a Bond.
Absolutely.
Yeah, better villain.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so this was the other big news. Star Wars 9 officially confirmed, and we have got what a cast this is going to be. Tell us about this cast.
Yeah, so Star Wars 9 cast. Yeah, so the first shock is Princess Leia.
Is going to be in
Carrie Fisher. She's going to be in it, and I hear they're not going to, because officially, obviously, she passed away.
Yeah,
and when she passed away, there was questions about how she's going to be included going forward. And at the time, they said they're not going to do the whole CGI thingy.
Yeah.
And now I hear, my sources tell me that they're going to use footage that they have already and somehow integrate that into the film.
So apparently there was a load of footage that was filmed for episode 8. They didn't use, and they're going to use that for episode 9.
But how's the dialogue and stuff going to work? And what?
How are they going to construct this story? I
mean, they're going to have to do some sort of CGI, I reckon.
Yeah, but we know the person directing this is J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to he's going to bring his magic into it, and it'll probably work somehow. Yeah. But also, a lot of people were surprised to hear this. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's going to be in it.
Yeah.
And people were like really surprised, but then I thought, why are there people surprised? Because he can do like an Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Force.
Yeah. The hologram.
Yeah. That's not like, So
Also, what's his name's going to be in it? So Lando Calrissian.
Calrissian's going to be in it.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams is going to be in it.
The original Lando. He's going to be in it. So also we have Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant, yeah.
And a lady called Naomi Ackel. She's a up and coming actress. She's been in quite a few. Not blockbusters, but she's it's almost like how Daisy Ridley was. She wasn't a massive actress at the time, but had good potential.
Yeah.
And this actress is in that sort of vein, so look out for her. I'm sure she'll do well.
Yeah, and keeping it with the Star Wars, what else have we got?
Clone Wars, man, Clone Wars.
This is still going on.
Have you seen Clone Wars before?
No.
Clone Wars. You know what? For me, I can't talk highly enough of Clone Wars. I'm not even joking around with you. I wasn't at first. I didn't know what to think of it. Clone Wars first came out in 2008. It ran for 6 seasons, I believe. So this is
after the film?
Clone Wars, okay, so you got the Phantom Menace, the films, yeah? So Phantom Menace, then you had the Clone Wars, and then you had Attack of the Sith.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars animation carries on. What happens between, it's canon here, it's canon. So it carries on from the Clone Wars before Attack of the Sith.
Right, okay.
Everything that happens, so the Clone Wars is a long period of time. And it chronicles all the battles they had that they don't really speak of that much. And then, it's just all those battles. So you see, in the Clone Wars, I'd already seen that Darth Maul survived. I saw how...
And we spoke about that, didn't we?
His brother Savage or something. And we see in the Clone Wars, they also had General Grievous. He came up in the Clone Wars animation. So exactly... I thought that was a real cough for a second. That was good. So you see how, because in Attack of the Sith, he's got all these lightsabers.
Yeah.
When he's battling Obi-Wan Kenobi in that funny, crazy place, he pulls out.
Yeah,
so you see how he gets them. Attack of the Clones, the animation fills in all the gaps.
Wow.
All the gaps. There's so much more that I can't even explain in it.
So this is 7 seasons.
It's the 7th season is going to come out in 2019. But if you're going to watch any animation with Star Wars, the Clone Wars, watch that. And the Rebels is good as well, but not as good as the Clone Wars.
So it's definitely
it's really good, yeah. And you get to see Anakin being like, he's good, but you also see his dark side a little bit. Because obviously in the Sith he goes full dark.
He goes full dark.
You see him and Obi-Wan. It's such a good. It's a wicked animation. It's wicked.
In the film The Clone Wars, did we see him turn bad?
He was getting a bit rebellious, but he didn't fully consume the dark side and stuff like that. And I guess in Attack of the Sith, he went and killed the younglings and all that kind of stuff.
The young Jedis,
the Clone Wars is so good, man. And it's canon to Star Wars. Everything is really in line.
So could they pluck stories out of that and make that into a film if they wanted to?
If they wanted to, of course they could. They could, yeah. But the Clone Wars covers it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's literally, I never miss an episode.
Oh, wow.
It's seriously good.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
So, ladies and gents, you've heard it. Clone Wars.
Yeah, really good.
Okay, tell us about Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, Charlie's Angels. So they're going to reboot it. Elizabeth Banks is going to be the director.
And Elizabeth Banks, our listeners will know from
The Bank. She wasn't in Fresh Prince. It's not that kind of Banks.
No, but I tell you what, she was in Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
She directed the second.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she directed the second film. Elizabeth Banks was in.
Is she like in SNL and those sort of things, or is she like a comedy kind of actress?
Not really, but she was. What's that film? What's that one?
What's that one with your hands up?
Yeah, where they do this at the end. And it's got Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Hunger Games. Was she in that?
She's in that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
she's in that one, and she's been in like
a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I've heard the name, but I just can't put her name to a film.
Yeah. She's been in quite a few stuff. So, all right. So she's going to be doing.
Yeah, she's directing that. Yeah, and it's going to star Kristen Scott as well. Also, it's also going to have a young actress whose name I didn't include because there was too many characters on that line. But I don't know if you watch cooking shows here in the UK. There's a cooking. There's a like a TV chef type lady called Pascal. Black lady, dark skin, gorgeous lady.
Yeah.
Her daughter, I think her name is Amy Pascal or Lorraine Pascal or something like that.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, her daughter is going to be in this as well.
Whoa.
And do you know what? Because I don't really watch these cooking shows, but when I see hers, if I'm flicking and I see her because she's nice in it, so I just sort of watch it just for her.
Yeah.
But I thought, hold on a second, your daughter's going to be in this. How old are you? She doesn't look like over 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
she doesn't look over 35. Even less than that, I reckon.
You know, now that we all know that you watch these cooking shows, how about you dish up a meal one day for me? Like, I've been coming over now.
I can put it together. My chicken Brazil. Yeah. My chicken Brazil. Once you taste that.
Oh shit. Okay, brilliant. Right, we'll wait for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the History Channel.
The History Channel. Do you know what? I love my science and history and planets and space. So I do watch the History Channel at times. Yeah. A lot of the times they've got these documentaries about space or UFOs or
I love those.
Geography and stuff like that. But the History Channel does also do good TV shows. They do Vikings.
Yeah.
That's on there, which I actually confess I haven't seen, but I heard it's really good.
Yep.
And also they've got a show coming out called Project Blue Book. This show, I had no idea about it, but I cannot wait.
And also, you've written over here, it's got Robert Zemeckis attached to it.
He's producing and he's got his hands
Back to the Future.
This. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Was Robert Zemeckis also Independence Day or was that someone else? That's Ronald Emmerich.
That's Ronald Emmerich.
I always get them mixed up.
But I always know Robert Zemeckis from Back to the Future. I'm in.
Also, it's gonna another lead person in this is gonna be Littlefinger, Peter Baelish. Always talking from the side of his mouth. You never know what he's up to. Peter Baelish. Also, he was in the Dark Knight Rises on that.
He was
on that plane.
The Wire.
The Wire. Yep. Also, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy for the old school gangsters on Queer Eye for the. I never watched it, but I knew he was in it.
But that's how
he's been around the block. He's been around the block.
I'm sure that's how he got the Wire, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
because of that.
Probably. He's a very, very, very diverse actor.
Yeah,
very diverse. He's really good. He's really good. But I mean, this show. I don't know if you guys watched the X-Files. This show is going to be like the modern day X-Files, but it will be set in the past. This is going to be set, I believe, in the 50s.
Yeah.
So 40s, 50s, I think it is. And Project Blue Book is a real thing. The US government has cases to do with UFOs, whether it's close encounters of the third kind or fourth kind, but UFO cases that are unsolved to this day.
Okay.
And Project Blue Book chronicles that.
I tell you what,
it's going to be really good.
Yeah,
it's going to be really good.
And you get a filmmaker involved in that. They're going to make it cinematic.
Yeah, exactly.
And make it really interesting. But okay, so one thing that I've just got to say to you is this: imagine you're on a plane.
Yeah.
You're a supervillain.
Okay.
You're throwing people out of the plane. You've got one person left there, and the person says to you, "You're a big guy."
Now is not the time to be afraid. No, hold on. No, he doesn't say that. He says, it's going to be very painful for you. No, hold on. Hold on. Oh, I can't remember the line he says.
Perhaps you're wondering why you... No, I can't remember. Don't get it. No. Aidan Gillen says...
Yeah, I remember.
You're a big guy. He goes, for you. Maybe for you.
Oh yes, just before the plane goes down, isn't it? Yes.
I love that
bit there. Oh my gosh,
Bane.
Yes. Now is not the time to be afraid, Doctor. That comes later.
Oh, by the way, we haven't heard anything. What's happening talking about Tom Hardy? What about Venom? What's going on?
Venom. Yes,
what's going on?
There's been a second trailer that they just aired in Comic-Con, but it hasn't been released yet. But from what I understand, Venom is going to be rated R, man. It's going to be 18. It's going to be like people. I understand that he does bite people's heads off.
And that's what people want.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nasty. Think about it. I mean, if he bites someone's head off, is Tom Hardy?
Does he swallow it?
Yeah, does he swallow the blood? I mean, where's it going to go? That's nasty.
But there was a bit. Okay, you could call it backlash, but there was a bit of a kind of thing where fans were like, "We want to see the full mask," with the teeth and everything, because the first bit that they showed, we didn't get to see the mask, and then people were like, "Come on, show us the mask, and blah 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 blah." But
you see it, don't you? When he says. When he's got that guy and the guy says, "Who are you?" and he says, "We are Venom." Is that the bit you mean, or?
But that was after they showed that bit afterwards. Before that, people were like, and I was just thinking, be a bit patient. I'm sure they're gonna do justice.
Also, they were talking about they were being quite anal, but they were talking about how Venom hasn't got the spider sign on his chest. Because in the comics and cartoons, he's got Spider-Man's got the spider sign in his chest, and Venom's got a bit more of a hardcore kind of spider sign in his chest. But that's.
But also, I mean, and you'll probably know this more. There's another version of Venom.
Yeah.
What is it? It's not Rampant. No.
What you mean, Carnage? And
that's it. It's Carnage.
Yeah.
So that's another.
So the symbiote. Yeah. Once it attaches itself to you, it can manifest in certain ways. Yeah. Carnage. Manifested in the comics. I believe it got to a prisoner who was a psychopath, a serial killer.
So there's another version of that.
Yeah, and that person is just even worse than Venom, if you can imagine. Venom's meant to be quite bad, but this person here just kills indiscriminately. He's just literally going out for craziness. So I believe Riz Ahmed, I'm not sure if he gets taken on by a symbiote, but someone's going to be. I think there's going to be a Carnage type character, because it's got to be a symbiote person who's going to be the big bad.
He'll be able to take on, because the power that Venom has, he's got to be able to kind of use that to fight something which is bigger and stronger or something.
I believe he's going to have to fight about 5 or 6 of them,
Oh.
Yeah, there's going to be a few symbiotes that are going to take shape, and he's going to have to take care of them.
Yeah.
As only he can. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that's literally in 2-3 months' time.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, 3 months' time.
Yeah, I think the next big films for us, like here on the Flicksters, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
We've got Aquaman.
Yeah.
And we've got the Venom.
Yeah. And there's also a few in between there that will definitely be quite good, I reckon. But they may not be the massive blockbusters, but there's good times ahead.
Yeah,
it's good times ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, Altered Carbon, which I have seen. Well, I'll be honest. I admit I've seen the first, let's say about 6-7 episodes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I got into it, and what happened was because you, Deval, mentioned Money Heist.
What did I do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I started watching Money Heist, and I got involved in Money Heist. So I've got to finish off Altered Carbon. But tell us about Altered Carbon.
Yeah, so Altered Carbon has been greenlit for season 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so. That's good. I mean, I've got to be even honest with you as well. I watched the first episode. That's as far as I got.
Yeah.
It does look good. I just couldn't get that into it.
Totally.
But I do need to finish it. I will at some point.
There are there's some really
it looks
interesting
stunning,
things.
doesn't it? The visual effects and stuff.
How the F did they film this? Now, what I want to know is it a Netflix production, or did someone else make it and then Netflix bought it?
I would think it is someone else made it and Netflix bought it. That happens a lot.
Yeah,
it happens a lot. But
okay.
I wouldn't 100% know, but I think that's because it's quite
because if you're looking for themes of kind of like identity and like, you know, obviously sci-fi, and obviously we had like what was it, 2049?
2049.
Oh, bloody hell.
Was that 22, 11, 14, 63?
No, 2049.
Oh, okay. Blade Runner. Okay, yeah.
Visually, it does look like that as well.
Yeah.
And I think the lead actor in this, I can't remember what his name is. He was in Suicide Squad. Yeah,
he was the sort of general kind of guy in Suicide Squad. He was also in House of Cards as well. He was one of the last people that they sort of went against in House of Cards.
Yeah.
He's a Swedish, I think, born actor, but he grew up in America.
Right.
He's quite good, yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people, they didn't really like the way he acts, and like, you know, he's a bit dry, wooden acting. But I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. But there's a lot of good stuff in there.
He was in RoboCop as well, the new one.
Flipping out, he played RoboCop.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah.
But will he be in the new RoboCop?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I reckon they'll recast. Yeah.
Okay. Well, brilliant. Thanks for that. That's a lot of film news there for us. And thanks for bringing a lot of those to us, Deval. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any film news that you want to share with us, let us know. Shout about it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram.
On a rooftop.
Exactly. Let us know. Right. Okay. Let's move on to the box office top 10. And sitting in at number 10 is a new entry. It's a Bollywood film, an Indian film, and it's called Dhadak.
I like the way you always pronounce them. So
it's the one thing that I can't really do.
Dadak. I was going to say Dadak.
That sounds like, you know, a Doctor Who villain. Dadak.
Dadak. Attack of the Dadaks.
And I can tell you, this means heartbeat.
Oh, was it like Dadak, Dadak?
That is it. That is it, mate. You know what? You could be. You know what, Deval? You could be in a Bollywood film.
How could you know?
Move those shoulders, twisting those arms a bit. I got to just say, everyone, Deval's just dancing and busting out the moves over here. Shit, I wish I'd have filmed that.
People, my name, like Deval, there's Darvel. I've met some Asian guys called Darvel.
Yes,
they're spelled Dhaval.
That's absolutely right.
And I've been confused with them before. So
you know what?
Yeah.
Listen, any casting directors out there from Bombay, Mumbai, just let us know, and I'll give you Deval's details. So look, I haven't seen this film, and you haven't seen this film.
Nope.
Okay, so listen, if anyone out there who can send us in a review of Dhadak, then let us know. We'll be more than happy to read that out. Sitting in at number 9 is
Thomas and Friends, Big World, Big Adventures, the movie.
What a title.
What kind of long title's that?
What's this? And obviously, clearly, this is for the summer holiday.
For the kids.
It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
I get it.
But it's done 125 grand in a week. I mean, that's quite low, isn't it?
It debuted at number 9. So what's the...
That's going to be out. That's going to be out.
I think it will be out, right?
That's going to be out.
Okay, so, right. And here's another new entry, and I didn't even know about this, but this is sitting in at number 8 is Spitfire. What's this?
What's that about planes and all that? Or
World War II film?
Like Spitfire is a plane, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shit. Okay.
Or maybe it's like a bunch of people in a burning house spitting on fire to try and put the fire out.
Okay, so if you got any news on this one, let us know. And obviously we're going to, listen, we're professionals here. We're going to read up about it. And we're going to copy someone else's review and tell you about it. No, okay, joking.
But hold on 1 second. Hold on. Am I looking at the right thing here? Because Spitfire in the week has done 270 grand, but overall it's done 10 million. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
I mean,
for a split second I thought, what?
If it's done 10 million, fuck it, we better watch this film.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, that's Ocean's 8 I was looking at, wasn't it?
Oh look, Ocean's 8 did so this past week it did 270 grand, but overall, nearly 10.5 mil.
That's all right.
Last week it was 4, I think.
Yeah, it was a touch higher last week, and it's gone down to.
It's making its way out now, isn't it?
I reckon so.
Okay, so that was number 7, Ocean's 8, number 7. Number 6, and I'm really surprised about this. Hotel Artemis is in at number 6, and what
it's gross? Not done well. It's not done well.
Check that gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
I'm just looking at the figures here, and the gross total is 357k.
That's not good. That's only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. Trust me. Exactly. Ant-Man's out next week. That's not going to get any better.
A lot of these films are going to get pushed out now. All right, so that was number 6. And then number 5, The First Purge.
Yeah.
4.5 million.
Yeah, in total. Yeah, in total. But you know what? The Purge does pull in audiences. My brother and I think 3 of his friends went to see it.
What did they think?
They didn't like it.
Okay.
But they went and saw it. So for the impact, it'll get people in.
Yeah.
But once people start talking about it, it's not going to get much, much
word
more. Yeah, word of mouth may sort of go against it. And no repeat views, I reckon, on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you reviewed it a couple of weeks ago, and
it had its moments, but it just didn't overall. Yeah,
you weren't a fan of that one. And sitting in at it's still in the top 5. Number 4, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, remember we said before this is going to be here for a while because this is a summer film.
Yeah.
People have finished school and stuff. They're going to want to see a Jurassic Park film. This film will linger, I reckon, for a while.
No, it will. It's going to be in the top. It'll still be in the top 10. So at the moment it's just shy of it's a couple of $100 grand shy of 40 mil. Would you reckon by the end?
Oh, I reckon it will get to like 43 million or something
43?
like that. Yeah,
okay.
That's good for the UK,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All right. Sitting in at number 3 is Skyscraper. Now, okay, the figures on this one, a couple of hundred short of 4 mil.
Yeah.
For a Dwayne Johnson film.
Probably not one of his best
performers.
Yeah. But it had its moments again, but it just wasn't. It's gonna go down. I reckon it's gonna go down to like a bungalow type level from a skyscraper
bungalow. So the glass ceiling definitely hasn't been reached there.
No,
that one. Okay. So sitting in at number 2 is Incredibles 2.
Yeah,
which you saw and you reviewed last week.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen this film, or if you've seen it and you want to listen to a review on it, download episode 10.
Yep.
So you can hear Deval speak about that one. So I mean, what do you just briefly?
Yeah, I think this one again will linger. Incredibles pulls in the audiences, not just in their singular. Families are going to go and see this one.
Yeah.
So this will pull in figures because think about it, a family booking is going to be quite expensive, isn't it?
Well,
so
if it's like, say you're an adult and 2 kids,
yeah,
I'm sure that's like about 30 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this will pull in figures. When I went to see it, it was packed, families galore. So this will linger, and it's a good family film.
Right. Okay. And the UK's box office number 1 film this week is Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Yeah, Mama, how could I forget you?
And we
how do I know that?
I know you've seen it. You know what? They showed the first one on Film 4, just not too long ago. So
okay.
I thought, let me just watch a bit of it, and it was okay. So look, we spoke about this. We knew this is going to clean up, right?
This will definitely clean up
because this is still in the West End.
Yeah,
like, as a stage production, this is still going strong.
I'm sure the West End have benefited from this being out as well.
Totally,
I'm sure.
Absolutely. So so that's the UK's box office number 1 film. Quite surprised about some of those ones actually.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have next, Mr. Deval?
Yeah, so next we have what's out this week on Blu-ray and DVD. If you don't have Blu-ray,
and you know what? I'm just thinking. Like on DVDs, you would have director's commentary, cast commentary, and all that sort of stuff. It's been such a long time since I bought a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Do they still have that stuff on
there?
Yeah,
yeah. And for some movies, it's really worth getting it.
Yeah.
All the outtakes and the bits that they didn't have, they couldn't put in. Quite funny. got the director's commentary and the music people, special effects people have interviews. A lot of the Marvel ones, I try and watch the extras on DVD. It's really worth it.
Yeah, special features.
Yeah, so this week we have Pacific Rim 2. So Pacific Rim, you know that one?
Yeah.
with John Boyega starring in that one.
And the first one had Idris in it. Yeah. But listen, here's a question. Is this based on a Japanese... This isn't Japanese, is it? Like based on a manga or anything like that?
I don't know if it's based on, but it kind of reminds me of like Godzilla and stuff like that. But this is more machines, battling the kaiju, the sort of big sort of monsters.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. That's the whole Japanese thing.
Yeah,
influence.
It literally is. Literally, I mean, it's just putting a different spin on it, really. I think they wanted more of a humanoid connection, because I guess with like Godzilla and stuff, it's like the monsters versus the monsters.
Sure.
We just sort of sit there and watch big screens and talk about it.
Yeah.
But with this one, the humans are in the machines, and it's more of a, go humans kind of thing,
And what about your man Boyega? How was he in this?
Yeah, he's all right in it. This one wasn't a bad film. Yeah, I did quite enjoy it actually. In this one, they've got like a little group of sort of kids that get together.
So it's a younger generation. About now.
Yeah. So they'll get together and they sort of help to fight to save humanity and stuff like that. So
sure.
It's a cool film. Yeah.
And did they leave it open for a third one?
Yes, there's always space for a third one. Do you know why? Because I'm not going to spoil anything, but even if they do, defeat the enemies,
there's always going to be something.
The third one, they'll say, "Okay, so as we didn't know, in the Pacific, deeper down, there were more monsters, and now they've come back." Yeah, it's always going to happen.
They can always conjure up, something.
Always, or they'll come from the moon.
Yeah,
somewhere they'll come from somewhere.
Now, we spoke about the next film on this list a while ago.
Yeah.
We did mention it, and this is A Wrinkle in Time.
Exactly.
Now, this film was kind of like in the news for it being number one, Oprah Winfrey in it.
Yeah.
Number two, they spent a shit load of money on this film.
Yeah.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's based on a book.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of hype surrounding this film. And unfortunately, it didn't do as well as what they hoped.
No, it didn't. It had a lot of potential, like you said, but it just didn't deliver on that. And who knows, why? Maybe it didn't really resonate with the audience. Maybe it was a bit overpacked, or maybe too many special effects. But
and I think Oprah Winfrey, she put in like money into this production as well. Yeah, I mean, come on, she's
a pocket change for her, isn't
it? Because she's so powerful.
Yeah,
like within America.
Yeah,
and if she kind of is attached to a project and she wants to put money into it, I think things will get made. But unfortunately, that return, I'm not sure. Okay, so that's out on Blu-ray. All right.
Yeah, and My Friend Dharma. Yeah,
God,
actually, I got to confess, I tried to watch this last night.
Yeah,
I was a bit tired. It was the second film I was watching that evening.
Yeah,
I did fall asleep, but I will watch the rest of it, and I'll let you guys know next week. But
please do, because I missed this in cinema.
The starting of it's quite good. Yeah, it is quite good.
And for our audience who don't know who Dharma is, this is based on a true story.
Yeah,
so this is
Jeffrey
a real
Dahmer.
Yeah, he was a serial killer.
Yeah, one of the worst. He concentrated on gay black guys, isn't it, or something?
Oh shit!
I think he killed a lot of black guys. That's all I know.
And he used to eat the bodies, right?
Yeah, he done all kinds of crazy stuff because he was a bit psychopath, so he lacked empathy,
right?
And he couldn't really connect to people in social circles and stuff. So
so he just ended up eating them,
putting their heads in fridges and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So let me know that one.
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay, this one, I never even heard of this.
Yeah, Proud Mary. Yeah, Proud Mary stars Taraji P. Henson. Can never say her name right, but yeah, she's like it's almost like she's just a gangster in this one. It's almost like she's like a Liam Neeson type, sort of Jason Bourne type person.
Oh, really?
Who just kicks ass. Yeah, she just kicks ass. So this one's out this week on Blu-ray DVD, but I think it didn't do as well in the cinemas.
Was it? Sorry, it was released.
It was in the cinema. Yeah, yeah. I remember it being in the cinema. I didn't go and watch it though, but I'm gonna watch it at some point. But it's meant to be okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never really seen her in that way of like a sort of hit woman kind of thing, But
yeah.
It'd be interesting. She's good at whatever she does.
She's brilliant.
She always performs well, so I'm pretty sure it should be okay.
Okay, so yeah, so that's thanks for the Blu-ray out. What's out on Blu-ray? So moving on to new on streaming and the new trailers. There's one that I put on this list, and I was really, really intrigued by this. And do you know the director? Do you know William Friedkin? Have you heard of this director?
No.
He directed a little small film back in the 70s called The Exorcist.
Oh, little film.
Okay, so William Friedkin, he directed The Exorcist back in the 70s. So he is behind this documentary, and it follows...
A documentary?
Bro.
Oh, no.
He follows a priest who performs exorcisms.
No, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
Bro,
I'm not watching it. No, I'm not watching it.
It is called... So, folks, it's called The Devil and Father Amorth. This is on Netflix. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Holy shit! Do I want to watch this?"
I'm not watching it
because
that's gonna lose me some sleep.
This is dark.
Yeah.
So William Friedkin, and number one, I mean, like, you know, he's been interested in that sort of stuff, obviously, since The Exorcist and stuff, right? And there are people in the world who are going to places and doing this stuff.
No way. Not for any money. Yeah. Not for any money.
So he's a priest out of Rome, and I mean, from what I gathered, is the Vatican are sending him places, and there are cases where they can say outright, okay, this is that, and they can just totally kind of deny or ignore the facts and stuff like that. But there are cases where even this father is like, shit, no, there's something beyond this.
No. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, check out The Devil and Father Amorth on Netflix. Okay, and for the show, for our listeners, we got to watch this, Deval. Let's track this one down. Okay, so what have you got on there? What else is on Netflix? What have you said?
So the Orange is the New Black, season 6. Yeah,
6 seasons.
Yeah. I've seen the first 3 seasons.
I haven't seen it.
It's funny. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's different. It's a female prison, and all the goings on that happens in that. There's light moments, there's heavy moments, and it's just crazy. But it's good. It's really good. Yeah. And season 6 kicks off. It kicked off on Friday 27th.
Okay, all right.
So it's just kicked off. So I think they dump all episodes on there straight away.
That's what I love about Netflix.
Yeah, you can really binge it out.
No waiting around.
Exactly. So I mean, for guys that don't know, Orange is the New Black. It's actually based on a true story.
Oh.
So the lead character is called Piper, and the real person that wasn't a female. She was obviously she's a female. She was in prison. She came out and wrote a book about it, about her life in prison and stuff like that. And it was garnered enough interest that they took it on to make a show. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly what you see on Netflix.
Some bits are probably cut out.
Yeah, exactly. They've made it much more interesting and dramatic and so on. But I think it's loosely based on her life in prison.
Okay.
So loosely based.
Okay, cool. Right, what else have we got here?
Victoria and Abdul on Hulu.
Yeah, so
I actually saw this in the cinema.
You know what? I missed it, but it's based on the relationship with Queen Victoria, and is it like a servant? Or?
Yeah, Abdul. Yeah, so she sort of takes a liking to him, and he becomes sort of her servant, and he helps her with I think writing and stuff like that.
Right,
I think she likes poetry, I believe.
Yeah,
and they just become friends. Yeah, they become friends, and he becomes her advisor. She starts to trust him on certain things, and people around don't like the way this guy is getting close to her and stuff, But Victoria is played by Dame Judi Dench.
Yep.
I can't remember who Abdul's played by, but he's a good actor.
Yeah.
And it's a good. Actually, I would never usually go cinema for this.
No, I mean,
I was seeing someone at the time, and she loves. The royalty and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I just went and thought, okay, let me go and see it. Let me do my job, go and see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Take one for the team. But I actually enjoyed it. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, it was a good film.
And here's a question that I want to throw out. In the movie, do they have like is there any romance between those two? Any intimacy?
You know what? In the sort of spiritual, non-physical type, I think there is a hint of it.
Oh.
I think he more sort of admires her and looks up to her and respects her in an intimate way, if you can call it that.
Okay.
And she, because being the queen, everyone you're surrounded with, they're meant to serve you. They're meant to, every word you say, they do because you're the queen.
Sure.
And I think he looks at her in that way, but also he looks at her as a person. He sees her through the exterior of the queen, do as I say sort of thing, and she does soften anytime he's around.
Okay.
So they've got that little, that interaction that no one else can get between.
Wow.
It's good.
That sounds good.
Slender Man. Oh my gosh.
I saw
this is coming out in August, late August. Yeah. This is just trailer, The Slender Man. Yeah. This oh my gosh.
Hasn't this been going on for a while though?
Yeah. It was like like an urban myth that the Slender Man, as disfigured sort of person, was taking kids in somewhere in America. It was like an urban myth, and there were documentaries about it and stuff, and it's just obviously it's got enough interest to go Hollywood, and they've made a film out of it.
Yeah,
but it does look very creepy, and the way this thing looks, and I can imagine it's going to be one of those films that makes you jump like crazy.
Do we know when this is out?
24th of August, I believe.
All right, so we haven't got
late August.
Got about a month. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Slender Man. It should be good.
Yeah, and also just to kind of add into that, we've totally forgot about films which are coming out. We forgot The Nun. That's going to be That should be coming out soon, right?
I believe it's near enough the same sort of time as Slender Man. Maybe I think it could be September. I believe, but so there are a few good horrors coming out in the next few months or so. So definitely Slender Man's going to be good.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. Oh, and yes, Star Trek Discovery, new season,
on Netflix. Yeah, I saw season 1. I'm a bit of a Trekkie, live long and prosper.
Oh, nice, good.
So I do like my Star Trek, and Discovery. Obviously, I watched season 1. I was interested in it, not just because it's Star Trek, but because the lead character was from Walking Dead. Yeah, so I can't remember her name now. Alicia, or not Alicia, or something. Yeah, but she was the black girl in The Walking Dead who was with Abraham, and she left. Well, she died in The Walking Dead and went to Star Trek, and she was a really big character in it.
Yeah, she was one of them. She was the main thing.
The main character. Yeah, her name was she had a funny name.
It was
a male name, Michael something.
Yeah.
Michael Burnham. That's it, Michael Burnham. Yeah,
and it had Michelle
Yeoh. Yeah, I love Michelle Yeoh. Yeah. Crouching Tiger. She's wicked.
I know, man.
Yeah, she's wicked. So
she can still move, man.
She can, Trust me, don't want to get on the wrong side of her.
I know. So, do we know when that's hitting?
This is out. I believe it's early 2019. I think January 2019. So the trailer's come out. It looks good. The way they left things in season 1, it definitely left it. You knew it was going to be season 2.
Yeah,
it left it open. Season 1. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they really go scientific.
Yeah,
they go into different dimensions and all sorts. It's really good.
And there was a bit of a kind of hoo-ha about the whole in one of the episodes in season 1. They dropped the F-bomb. Do you remember this?
I can't remember actually.
Yeah, they dropped. And it's just like, when I watched that episode, because I wanted to see what it was all about. Like, why is it such a big deal? Because obviously, when you look at the films, there's no swearing in the films, and going back to Star Trek, The Next Generation, that Star Trek that history, there's none of that. So Netflix decided, you know what, it's appropriate for them to drop in an F-bomb. And the word comes in, and I was just like, okay, yeah. I mean, was it necessary? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I can't remember when it happened.
Yeah.
But if it happened, it couldn't have been like a major thing that you noticed it. Maybe I guess you would have noticed it, but maybe in the situation it was appropriate.
Yeah.
So
it just kind of like, I just thought to myself, there's so much hype around it. Like, was that necessary? Like the hype, I mean.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's Star Trek, and it's like a certain legacy that Star Trek has. But another sort of nugget from the first season of Discovery, another leading actor in it, he was the sort of he wasn't an android, but he kind of came across as an android. He was one of their sort of lead science tech officers. He's the one that broke the story about Kevin Spacey.
The blonde guy, the blonde haired guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, was that him?
That was him. Yeah. So when he was 14, Kevin Spacey obviously inappropriately touched him.
Advances and stuff like that.
He broke that story, so that was him. Yeah. So in this series, I think he's gay.
He is. Yeah, and you see his partner.
Life, then,
and then you see his partner in it, because that was the thing with the whole Star Trek as well. They were bold. Netflix and like the makers of the show were bold enough to have kind of like gay characters on the show.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, a big thing. But so that's the guy who broke the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then that led to him being taken out of House of Cards.
Yep, Kevin Spacey, yep.
Him being removed from...
All the Money in the World.
All the Money in the World. Yeah. And
just stop, nothing, he won't be in anything.
However, but having said that, I think there is a film that is going to be released and he is in it.
Okay.
But I think that was made... Like, before all this shit went down. So, and I think they've got to release the film.
Okay.
So, shit. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Right.
What is it now? Is it time for Anniversary Corner?
All right. So, I love Anniversary Corner because actually I like and I don't like because I like because of all the great films that come out. I don't like because it reminds me fucking how old. Like, holy shit, man. It's like...
Makes you feel old.
And this film... 10 years since this film. Okay, tell us about this one.
Yes, so Ananas Espresso.
If you didn't get that in English, it's Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
So Seth Rogen and
James Franco and all those buddies. Who else is it? Michael Cera, I think, is involved. I think just all those guys that just get together and make this film. They just
and to me, it just makes me think like they're all buddies in real life.
Yeah.
And they just say, "Hey, let's just make a film together."
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's just, and they make money, they get paid for having a laugh, basically. That's what I think these films are like. But
this film's about this, like, they're just smoking, like
stoners.
Parties and just
and in real life, Seth Rogen, I mean, he is a stoner.
Okay.
Like he loves like smoking weed and stuff, and there's not like he totally admits it.
Okay.
So for him, like making a film like this is just like kind of like second nature to him, type of thing like that, right?
It's so much fun, isn't it?
Oh my god!
Damn.
And with James Franco in there as well, I mean, which I was really surprised about how he can do comedy.
Yeah, he can, because he goes from like Osborne, Harry Osborne, 127 hours, and then he goes to this and 22/11/63, and then. He just goes across different platforms.
And then they did that film together, all of them. They all got together with Michael Cera.
This is the end. Yeah, I saw that.
I love that.
And they played themselves, didn't they? That was crazy.
That was wicked.
Yeah.
So, So, and also, sorry, talking about the friendship, they did the whole North Korea thing.
Yeah. I still haven't seen that, I still haven't seen it. I need to see it.
I haven't seen it. And the controversy was...
That was
it called? The Interview. That... They got hacked because of it.
Yeah, that got political.
The film got released.
Political because I think they're meant to kill the North Korean president or something.
James Franco, he plays an interviewer, like he plays like a famous chat show host. He gets an interview with the president of Korea,
Kim Jong-un or something.
Or whatever. And then the CIA say to him, "Look, you got to kill the president."
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know, man.
I'm gonna see it now. I need to see it. I need to see
that one. Okay, so Pineapple Express, that was back in 2008. So it's been 10 years for that.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
15 years, 2003. So we have Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, because they came out in the same year.
They did, because it was...
That would never happen now.
Made them back to back, right?
Yeah. 6 months apart.
All right, okay, so here's my question to you is, I mean, I am a huge fan of The Matrix, the first one.
Yeah.
All right? I love that movie.
It's one of my sort of movies that have the magical moments,
Yeah, exactly. And more on that coming soon. Now, Matrix Reloaded and Revelations. Is it Revelations?
Revolution,
sorry. Okay. I was really excited.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm getting 2 films and I want to see what happens with these characters. However, there was a bit of a lull over these films.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not sure if you agree with that.
No, I agree.
But the whole world, the Matrix world that they created, I totally love. And that idea of, right, who's in control? Is it destiny? And what is the meaning behind these films? I loved them. And I just thought, man, I was let down. If I'm coming from the high of
Matrix
the
1 was just a game changer. I still remember to this day when that film finished in the cinema. I didn't know what to do with myself. I couldn't leave. I didn't know what to say. Everyone was looking around like, shit, what did we just see? Like, it was just a game changer. That feeling you don't get from many films.
Yeah.
Matrix 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It had its moments. I mean, I remember a part in Matrix 2 when he wasn't plugged in, but he still had powers when they were running from those sort of creatures that like squids,
the Sentinels.
That's it. Yeah, and he was able to stop them just freestyle, and I was like, shit. But apart from that, I mean, it was overpacked, overstuffed. It was quite ambitious what they were trying, but the execution just didn't really happen.
The standout scene for me in the second part was the fight scene in the playground.
The playground. What, with enough of Mr. Smiths?
All the hundreds of Mr.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You like that, yeah?
You know what? But I liked it to a point. I liked it up to the point where then it became so CGI.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, I'm a bit like turned on.
I know what you mean.
But the idea, like you said, the execution, it needed more done to it. But I like the idea of it.
Okay. And then you had that guy that blimmin' not the Oracle. What was he again? He was the sort of Santa Claus architect. I am the architect. Vis-a-vis, you go to the left door and you save the world, or the right door and you save Trinity. And it's like vis-a-vis. There you go.
I know, totally. And it was just mad. Like, and that whole scene.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was the white screen, 2 doors, and even to this day, I'm still trying to think what is the ending.
Oh yeah, they sit down on a bench, innit? And then
the little girl,
the architect and the sort of Oracle lady that they changed because the first one passed away.
Yeah,
and they sit down and say, yeah, so that was interesting. And he's like, oh yeah, it's going to happen again. You know what the humans are like. And she's like, yeah, well, there's always hope or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's like. And then I don't know what happens with Neo. He's like, they treat him like Jesus a little bit, like the way you know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, they tried it.
We'll watch it. We'll tolerate it because of the Matrix. The first one.
The first one. It should have stayed there. But obviously, the first one was so good. You wanted more.
You want to see more.
You want more.
And there's talk of a reboot.
Shut up.
There's bro.
No, there ain't.
Yes.
No, there ain't.
There is talk of a reboot of the Matrix.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel happy, but also feel a bit dread because what if they mess this up again?
Yeah. Is Keanu Reeves going to be in it?
I know. I think
we'll have his John Wick hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine.
and a lot of people were pissed off because it was supposed to be Will Smith.
Oh, I'm so glad. Do you know what? He couldn't do it because he was doing Wild Wild West.
That was it.
I'm so glad he didn't do it.
Wiki Wild Wild West. Oh gosh, man. And then that turned out to be the flop, and this turned out to be the big hit.
Exactly.
So
glad.
And then Keanu Reeves is just kind of like went up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about those two just makes me think of just how good the first one is. So so that was 15 years. Bloody hell.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
All right, what else have we got?
20 years ago, 1998. Do you remember this film, Sphere? This film, people. I think I had to see it 2 or 3 times to be honest, because it did bamboozle me the first time because he wasn't sure what's happening.
And this is with Lawrence. Is it with Lawrence Fishburne in it? No.
Samuel L. Jackson. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. Like that news person.
And Samuel L. Jackson just roasted Sam.
Yeah, if you're listening,
sorry,
it
Sam.
can happen to anyone.
Shit, I'm sorry, Sam. No, it's because we were talking about the Matrix. Shit. But yeah, fuck.
Well, yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, Sharon Stone, and Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
Yeah, they find this spherical thing at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be extraterrestrial or something like that.
Yeah.
And it can alter your mind waves or your perception of reality.
Yeah.
It's just so clever.
Yeah.
It's so clever.
I know. I remember I watched it like on like DVD, I think like years ago and stuff. And I was like, shit, man, this is wicked.
So clever. Remember how it ended as well?
I can't remember.
I remember how it ended. I can tell you.
Tell me.
It's like so much shit happened. Like they didn't.
The extra. They left it there thousands of years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the way it ended was that they said, let's forget about it and let's never talk about it again. They agreed to just not talk about it and not think about it, and it's like they took control. That's how they ended it. And they had these. I think they were getting interviewed by people, and they all stuck to the story and said nothing happened, this happened, or whatever, and they just forgot about it.
Yeah,
they took it out of their mind. It was mad.
Wow,
it's a good film.
Yeah,
it's a really good film.
I'm gonna have to revisit that.
Yeah, it's almost a hidden gem. Almost a hidden gem.
I'm gonna have to revisit that film.
Sphere. Yeah,
some of these films I wish they were like kind of like just there on like you can just like choose on Netflix and get a lot of these films. They're not.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Hang on a second now. Let me Fire in the Sky. This is the UFO one.
Yes.
Oh my.
Travis Walton.
Yes.
1993.
And he wrote a.
Yep.
Was there a book on this?
Yep. Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Yep. This was one of my first UFO experience films that shook me up. Because this is based on a true story. He was taken, abducted. He was missing for 3 days.
He comes back.
Everyone was searching. He comes back and he has these visions of what happened to him that are so realistic. When you see the aliens take him, it's so visceral and it's almost violent. You don't think of it as being violent, but they do shit to him that is so nasty.
I know.
The way they show it, it's just, I was scared. It's almost horror. It's almost horror.
Imagine, think about it. Flipping being taken away and experiments being done.
Yeah.
This kind of connects to another film. It's called The Communion. Have you heard of this?
With what's his name?
Christopher
Walken.
Bit
of this. I can never remember his name unless I did that song. Christopher Walken. Yeah.
And it's the theme is like similar, being abducted, aliens, stuff like that.
Yep.
But I remember Fire in the Effing Sky, right? Yep. I remember this, and I had the same feeling. Yep. Like shit.
It was scary.
Like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
This person is speaking about something that happened to him, and it's so real, so vivid.
Yeah.
He believes it's true, and I thought, and it was around about the time as well of the X-Files.
X-Files started in 93.
Yeah, that was it.
Was it 91 or it started? I think in 91 or 92 or something. Yeah, X-Files and And
I remember that whole thing, and then I really got into the whole UFO thing, and I remember I bought this book.
Yeah,
I bought this book. Right, it was called. Check this out. It was called Above Top Secret, and the Men in Black.
Yeah,
there really is a Men in Black.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. And in this book, right, they talk about Fire in the Sky and all this sort of shit, right? It's wicked. Seriously,
yeah, it's really. I used to be into it as well. I used to buy books about UFO abductions and stuff like that. And I used to really like. I'm not even a reader, but then those days I used to read about these things, and I believed them. Yeah. And this, I mean, there's a bit of a theme to that actually, because Project Blue Book is going to be about aliens and so on. Fire in the Sky, aliens,
Sphere as well. I mean,
aliens, Sphere. I can't say it properly, but yeah, I mean, Fire in the Sky, guys. If you can go and watch that, if you can't find it, we'll get it to you. But it's a really good. It's also got Terminator 2 in it.
He plays his mate.
Yeah, he does. Terminator 2. Patrick Stewart.
No, that's Professor X.
Patrick something though, isn't it?
He was the T-1000.
Yeah, he's in it. He's good in it. He's his mate.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a good film, man. It's a really good film
because they're like hillbillies, aren't they?
They're like these they're ranchers that they go cutting wood in the forest, and they're always like in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
Then they show the light. Remember when at the top when he's looking up?
It looks like fire in the sky, literally. Yeah. When you look up at it, it looks like a massive fire in the sky. They tell him to get in the car because they're all in the car when they see it.
Yeah.
He gets out, and then that's when it takes him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, shit, man.
Good film,
isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
That's a brilliant shout out, man. Right, okay, so we mentioned a bit of this before.
Yeah, mentioned Child's Play, but it came up 1988, 30 years. So for people that are, a bit old school, you remember when you first saw it. So this is on our anniversary corner here.
Yeah.
So it's worth a shout out for that one.
And the killer in the film, so here's the connection to The Exorcist. The killer, who the actor who plays the voice of Chucky is Brad Dourif.
Who's that?
He is in Exorcist.
Oh my gosh!
Part 3.
Is it?
Yeah. So he's
yeah.
And I'm sorry, he was in Lord of the Rings as well.
Was he?
Do you remember when Gandalf? There was like a king, and he's like old and he's shriveled up.
I know him. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But remember his side, the person who was controlling him.
He was in he was in Aliens 4 as well. Aliens, the one Resurrection.
That's it.
He's like a scientist that tried to. Him.
That's Brad Dourif. Yeah,
okay.
That's the voice of Chucky.
Oh,
and he plays in Exorcist 3. He plays the kind of the devil basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is Exorcist 3 the one where they are in that? Oh, in the hospital as well.
That's it.
And there's that scene that for me is the worst.
I know
when she walks across. Oh my! It's so quick. And she walks across with the
with the garden shears
to cut someone's head off or something.
Yeah,
that scene
freaked me out, man.
Oh my god!
Totally. I know, man. Yeah,
they don't get scenes like that now. You know, I'm telling you, it's so quick because you know what's going to happen, but you can't do anything.
And then the camera just quickly zooms in a little bit, and then yeah. So this Brad Dourif. But I remember watching this, and I mean, I was like way too young to watch this film.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like in those days, everyone at school was like, "Hey, look, you know, you got to watch this film.
Get the video.
Get the video out. Watch this." And I was like, "Yeah, let's watch it." And it was just mad. So he plays a killer, and he's able to summon his soul into a Chucky doll.
Good guy doll. I think they're really popular at the time.
Yeah. And then what happens is that doll gets bought by some parents, and then it's given to their kid and stuff like that, and he just starts causing havoc.
Yeah, causing deaths.
Yeah, killing people, slicing, and the knife.
Yeah, that big knife.
Oh man! So it's been a really, really long time since I've seen this film, and it makes me want to go out and watch it now.
Yeah.
So wow, 30 years. Okay, now 35 years. I love the sound of this one.
Octopussy.
Yeah, this is like, oh my god, 1983. So this is James Bond.
Yeah.
This is Roger Moore.
Do you reckon 35-year-old Octopussy is that too old? Or is
Listen, it's never too old, man. Never too old for Octopussy.
That's why I say that name. It makes me laugh. How come if I think of an octopus's pussy? Yeah.
Exactly. It's like when
what's an octopus's pussy like?
Imagine you're in the writing room of this, right? And you think, right, okay, what can we call the next James Bond film? Octopussy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And I remember the poster for this because it was James Bond. He had his gun up like
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore. And then he had all these women behind him, and they've all got these hands sticking out, and it's just brilliant. But yeah, Octopussy. I mean, wow, 35 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
1983.
Yeah. No, I mean, James Bond. I mean, look, we know they're making a new one now.
Yeah.
It's going to be Daniel Craig's last one.
Yeah. Danny Boyle directing.
Danny Boyle directed, which people are kind of not sure about. But if we go back 35 years, Roger Moore was like doing the shit, and you know, people were. He if you look at his films now, they will say, right, okay, he's chauvinistic, he's sexist, he's like, you know, the way that they show women in that time. Yeah. But that's what that character was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. That was that. They filmed it a bit in India, didn't they?
They did. I remember, and I remember this. There was like there's a couple of scenes in there, and they had like a.
Was that the one where they had the monk? No, that's the Indiana Jones. I'm thinking, but I swear they had some sort of delicacy that was like.
You know what? I can't remember.
But
they might have, because remember, Indiana Jones was around about the same time.
Yeah.
So they might have just thought, oh yeah, let's use a bit of that in there.
Exactly. My media teacher at school worked on Octopussy, and at college, at college, he actually mentioned it in class.
Oh,
and
really?
he said that, if you look at the credits, his name's there as I don't know if he was a runner or something like that.
Oh,
but
wicked.
yeah.
If he, I mean, maybe
his name was Mick.
Maybe
Mick.
We can get him to listen to the show and
do an interview of his experience.
Big shout out to Mick.
Yeah, Mick. Yeah, good. He was a good teacher. He was.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, anniversary corner. There we go.
Okay, so
film review.
Great. Great anniversary corner there, by the way. Okay, so let's move on to the film reviews, and we got to talk about this massive film that was released this week.
Yep.
And this was actually pushed back because this film was supposed to have been released like a couple of months ago.
Oh, serious? Okay.
But what happened was, during the making of this film, Tom Cruise.
Oh yes,
he broke his foot.
Yeah.
And there's footage of this online. You can see it. He came onto one of the chat shows here in England, Graham Norton show.
He does his own stunts, doesn't he? Yeah.
And so for people, you know, listeners out there, there's a scene in the film where Tom Cruise is jumping from one building to the next.
Yeah. Did you notice? I don't know if you noticed.
I'm going to say one thing.
Okay, you go ahead. You say it.
Okay. All right. If that's what you think, if that's what it is, what you're going to notice.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I'm just going to mention this bit, and then we'll go back a bit. All right. So he jumps from one building to the next. He breaks his foot, and then they show this scene in the film, and you see him limping. However, did you notice afterwards the change of his face?
Yeah.
Was that wasn't what you were going to say, right?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
What was it? Okay, what was it?
What I was going to say was that we all, I mean, a lot of people know that he hurt his foot during the making and so on, but they left that in the film. Because we see him jumping around and stuff like that, and there's a quick bit where he does that jump, and you see him limp away afterwards. You actually see it.
Couldn't believe
they left it in the film. I think they left it in because it's been so much hype about it. People are going to look through it. They left it in because there's a bit where he's limping just afterwards, but then afterwards he's okay.
Yeah, but did you see his face?
I didn't see his face. Nah.
There's a shot.
Is he grimacing?
He's like. Seriously, all contorted.
I'm glad they left it in, you know, because it just lends to the blood, sweat and tears that they put into it.
Yeah.
And shit can happen.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm glad, actually, yeah.
And you know what, right? I just think it was like, hat off to the guy. He's 55 years old.
No, he's not.
Bro, he's 55.
He's 55. I swear, I thought he's 50 or 51 or whatever.
Thomas Cruise, 55 years old.
Serious?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right,
Man's on cruise control,
I know, man. All right, let's go back now. Let's rewind a bit.
Okay, so we're not doing any spoilers, or are we?
You know what? Let's do it. Let's
do spoilers.
Let's talk about it.
So we're going to do spoilers, guys.
We are going to do spoilers, but before we get into it, I just want to go back a bit. This film has been going on for 23 years.
Serious? 1998 was it or something? Or
I want to say I want to say that.
96. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. I think something like that. Mission Impossible 1,
the first one.
Shit.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that they kept the same throughout all these films was each film was directed by someone new.
Each one,
apart from 5 and 6.
What, same people, same person?
Same person.
Okay.
So
what's this one then? This one.
6.
This one's 6. Okay.
Yeah, this one's 6. So back in the day, 23 years ago. Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
He directed the first one.
Was that the Scarface guy, or was that okay?
Yeah, you know your shit. You know your stuff.
Do you know my favourite one, or one of my favourite ones?
Go for it.
It's the John Woo, man. Them doves. It's them doves and all that kind of like the manga type stares, and you know, like the kind of like the camera angles where they look at each other and it's like.
I know. You know what? And
the fights and all that.
The masks. No, isn't there something about the masks? With Tandy Newton's in it.
Yeah.
And where they meet in somewhere,
Spain or something,
that
or whatever.
Was it.
Yeah.
But when I was just kind of like doing a bit of research on this, I was like, 23 years.
Damn, yeah.
Isn't it a long time?
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So I remember watching the first one. I thought, you know what, this is brilliant. I love the whole spy thriller, setup.
Because from a TV series, isn't it? From back in the day.
Back in the day, Robert Vaughn was in the original.
Okay.
And Robert Vaughn, who's his son?
James, the director, something Vaughn.
Yes.
Something Vaughn. James Vaughn or Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn.
Is that his son?
That's his son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think people always getting a bring in, yeah?
I wish I had a famous dad.
You know?
Bloody hell.
Who's getting a bring in?
Hang on. My dad was in Octopus. Okay. Gosh. Right. All right. So 23 years ago, they decided to remake make a film version of Mission Impossible, and it was a big hit. So every 2 or 3 years later, they bring a new director in, new storyline. And throughout these 6 films, it's been obviously Tom Cruise and Luther. He's been in all of them.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah. He's a one person as well.
Ving Rhames has been in all of them.
Okay.
So, and what do we expect? What do we know about Mission Impossible films? What is it? There's going to be explosions. There's going to be chases. There's going to be fighting like terrorism or
plot twists.
There's going to be backstabbings and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's got this rich history.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I think I really, I did like the first one, obviously. I did like 4 and 5. I just thought they just kept getting better and better.
Okay. So, I think from what I've heard, this one has got the best opening box office, from what I understand.
And it's taking shitloads. It's just going and eating up the box office, and it's done really, really well. Okay, so let's go now. Where do we start off with this film?
I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, I like the twist. There's a hospital scene where they have a twist, and it got me.
Yeah,
it literally got me. I had no idea that they were tricking someone, and literally the whole place was like a set.
Yeah,
it was so good. Like for me, this film all the films that I've seen so far, there's always a bit in it where someone pulls a mask off or something. Like the John Woo one, for me, that's still the best one. Where I think the baddie, he tricked someone and he pulled the mask off, and then he realised that his henchman wasn't his henchman or something, and it was too late, and you see Tom Cruise running around a corner, just getting away, and then the doves are going up, the explosions. I love it when they trick. The mask is so convincing.
And it's so Scooby-Doo, isn't it?
The voice changes as well.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Okay, here's a bit of trivia for Mission Impossible 2.
Okay.
So the villain in 2 was Dougray Scott.
He's supposed to be Wolverine, but they overran in that one, and he couldn't play Wolverine.
Can you imagine
that? And even to this day, he's like, oh yeah, I still don't regret it. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. That X-Men made Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. See, sometimes things are meant to happen.
Yeah.
Who knows why it overran, but it did.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. So, all right. So in this setup, we've got obviously the teams back again. So we've got Simon Pegg, Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames. We've got Rebecca Ferguson, and we added the addition of
Superman,
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But where is Hawkeye?
Oh, was he in it? Oh, he was, wasn't he?
In 4 and 5.
Oh, but there's even no mention of him, is there?
Why? What happened?
Oh, I don't know what. I actually totally forgot that. Yeah.
So I'm just. So was he? Is he off making? Has he been off making Avengers 4?
Yeah, they let him go.
Unless it's to do with the whole fact that because Tom Cruise broke his foot, they had to delay it for 6 months.
Oh, okay, maybe it clashed.
Maybe it clashed with Avengers 4.
Yeah. Maybe that was it.
They just kind of wrote him out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this episode of the franchise, they're all kind of like, in this whole thing, they are out to capture 3 nuclear bombs which have fallen into the hands of the bad people.
Yeah.
So the Mission Impossible Force team, they are tasked to get the nuclear bombs back and to stop terrorist attacks from happening, and there's various things that have happened around the world, so they want to stop all this stuff going on. So it takes Tom Cruise basically around the world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They go to where the hell
is it they go to, did they go to China or
I
think so. They go to Paris. I think they go to Paris for sure.
They're in Paris, definitely.
London as well.
Yep. It takes them to in Asia somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. It's in Kashmir.
Kashmir. Okay. Yeah.
So location wise, they're all over the place, right? So I mean, and that's what you expect from a Mission Impossible film. And so the film is basically a lot of chasing, a lot of running, a lot of fighting, and there were a couple of standout scenes in there which I thought were brilliant.
Oh yeah, like what?
All right, so there's a fight scene in the toilet.
In the toilet, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With Henry Cavill in it. Does that thing to his shirt. He goes, ruffles his shirt. He's like, yeah. Starts punching people up.
I'm getting involved in this.
That guy that had them, he's a better fighter than both of them.
He done him. This Chinese guy, Japanese guy, right? So they get him, they corner him in the toilet. They want to take his face, right? They want to do like a whole thing.
Yeah. They can't get to this guy, man. This guy's a bad man.
He is slick.
Bad man.
This guy is slick. So they try and rough him up. He's beating them back, and he's like kind of like.
But I do like that. Do you know why? Because usually the good guys will always get that person.
Yeah.
But in reality, some of these guys are too bad to be got.
Of course.
So I'm glad that they showed that this guy he could handle them both.
And the only way that they could stop him
was to cheat.
Exactly.
Get more help.
They get help and they shoot him.
Yeah. So I'm glad that this guy could bad them up.
Because it kind of like in realism, otherwise how else would you stop this guy?
Exactly. And the plan doesn't always go, it doesn't always go to plan. It shouldn't, because these people, they're just as good or better than you.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, we introduced kind of like, these new characters, and obviously like you mentioned, Henry Cavill, he's in this.
Yeah.
And man, this guy is massive, hulking.
Did you know it? I was going to say, because even in the poster, he can't put his arms down. His arms are like that all the time.
And you compare him to, and Tom Cruise is famously, he's a shorty.
Yeah.
So these two together, and I'm like, shit, he's like looking up a bit.
He's beefy.
This guy is beefy. Now, for people who don't want to don't want to hear about any spoilers, we are going to spoil this right now. Henry Cavill plays...
what, baddie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I passed the test. I think wanted something more specific there, but
yeah.
okay.
So Henry Cavill, he plays the baddie, which I kind of sensed.
Okay.
I did sense it.
Yeah.
And the little twist in there was the fact that, you know, he works for the CIA, but also he's kind of like a double agent type of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's gonna
don't know who to trust.
Don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
So they had a bit of that. So they had a bit of the stuff like, you know, that you found in the first two, like, you know, the first films. And I thought there was one particular scene that I thought this is really interesting. It's a motorbike scene. They're traveling through the streets of Paris, and, you know, Tom Cruise is on a motorbike. There were some scenes which I was like, oh, how the hell are they doing this? But then I realized, you know what? I could see the CGI.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this don't look good. And then there's a scene where he has an accident. Yeah. And he just gets up and walks off.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm sorry.
You should be mashed from that. Your legs should be mashed.
Listen, I used to ride a motorbike.
Oh, okay.
I know what it feels to come off a bike.
Is it?
Yeah. I've come off a bike and this guy's doing 80, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, you don't walk away like that.
No way.
His legs should be mashed.
And you know what? I got pissed off because of that.
Okay.
And I was like, look, in terms of realism, no. He should have gone flying. So that they messed up in that one.
Actually, do you know what? Just going back a little bit, sorry, but the toilet seat, the toilet fight, I don't know if you noticed, but after, I mean, they got punched up by this guy. They didn't have a mark on them. None of them had a mark on them.
Yeah,
no blood,
right.
no nothing on their face.
Why
this
not?
guy punched him up. Remember, there was a bit where he had Henry Cavill, I think, in like a hold. Yeah. And he sort of just punched him and he fell to the ground.
Yeah.
Afterwards, not a mark, mate.
And the guy, the villain, he did have a mark on him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So why is that? Hollywood. Come on.
Actually, it's like what's that film with Arnold Schwarzenegger? The Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's just like
just
dust off and like there's nothing happening. So like, you know, in terms of kind of, let me just put this out there. It's not, for me, it's not as good as like I said before, 4 and 5.
Okay.
So I did like this one.
Okay.
And there's some really, really like, you know, good bits in there, but I just thought it just fell short a little bit of what I thought. And there was like kind of like a few holes, you know, in the plot. But hats off to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
For what he's doing. And you know how they managed to cram in so many set pieces.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot. There was a lot.
For you, what were your best bits, or what are the things that you didn't like?
The part. There was a part where Henry Cavill and Tom Cruise did that parachute bit. They tried to land in Paris somewhere. Yeah. And Henry Cavill wasn't playing ball. No. He made a mistake and so on, and Tom Cruise had to bail him out. Yeah. And Henry Cavill obviously lost consciousness and a lot happened before they landed. Yeah. And then they landed, Tom Cruise saved his life, and Henry Cavill just got up and went, what happened to your oxygen or something? Or what happened to you? Like nothing happened. Yeah. And literally Tom Cruise was doing a lot to save his life. He was just unconscious and didn't realise. Yeah. But that bit for me was funny. I think there was a few more humour parts in this. Yeah. I think a lot of films these days have to include because they realise they need to satisfy everyone. It can't be too serious.
And I think that comes from Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And Simon Pegg had that bit of comic relief and so on when Tom Cruise is running around and he's telling him, "Oh, go left. Oh, sorry, my thing's upside down. I meant right or whatever." Was funny. And yeah. And then there's just a few bits that I think were quite funny and in the right places though, you know. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think overall I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. I did enjoy it. It kept me glued. I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah, totally not.
I think it's for me, apart from the John Woo one, which for me just has those classic signature John Woo battle moments that are just over the top and just a bit mad, but I do like. Yeah. This was one of my favourite ones, I think, for me. It was good.
And kind of like opposite to the motorbike scene, there's a car chase, which I thought was really, really good. Yeah. There's a point in the film where they're saving, Tom Cruise has to save the villain. He needs the villain. He needs one of the villains because the villain is going to give him information about something. So Tom Cruise, even though he doesn't want to, he's got to save the villain. And Rebecca Ferguson, her character, who plays the British like MI5 spy, she wants to kill the villain. So it's almost like as if, right, okay, so Tom Cruise, he likes her. Yeah. she's got to kill him, but she also likes him. She's like, it's like a rock and a hard place type of thing.
Yeah.
And so this car scene is through the streets of Paris as well, and they, you know, they're flying through streets, they're stopping, they're starting, you know, there's gunfights and everything like that. I thought that was really, really good. I really liked that one. So clearly they know what they're doing. You know, the makers of this film, they know it. And, you know, coming off the success of 4 and 5, and, you know, I think his name is Christopher McQuarrie. He directed the 5th one.
Okay.
He directed the 5th one, and I really liked that. I think that one was called Ghost Protocol.
Oh yeah. That's a good title. I like that.
Yeah, I did like that one. So, you know, they kind of like, you know, up the ante a bit. You know, like what can they do next? And for me, the ending. Well, sorry, not the ending, but there's a scene at the end involving helicopters.
Yeah, I know.
That was
like, crazy.
Crazy. How the hell did they film this?
There
was a lot of
CG,
it a lot of it is unbelievable in the sense that, look, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, for me, that I did kind of. I thought, what's this? How are they still holding on? It's just a bit.
And that's where it lost
me.
On the cliff, and the helicopter rolling over the other one.
I'm like, come on, man.
They shouldn't be alive.
None of them, nah. But one shout out I wanted to give, actually. I don't think anyone would have recognised this, but I've been looking at this guy's career and some of the films he's done.
Yeah.
But Bourne Ultimatum.
Yes.
Well, great film.
Yeah.
Remember that fight that Jason Bourne had with the Moroccan guy? Desh.
Wicked.
For me, I love Desh, you know?
Yeah.
Desh, I love Desh. For me, Desh should have won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Desh is actually a UK person.
Is he?
He's half Ghanaian. Whoop, whoop. Half English.
Wow.
He's from Hammersmith. He's from Hammersmith down the road.
Local.
Yeah. So he's actually in Fallout. He was the henchman, sort of mixed race guy. He was the one that, you know, there was that little separate faction of that sort of blonde lady.
Yeah.
And she had those two guys, and he was the sort of the black guy of those two.
Oh, so it was her brother.
Yeah, and then the other guy.
And
that's
so
Desh. Yeah. That's Desh. So he's obviously grown. He's years later, so he's grown. But so he was in Bourne Ultimatum. He's actually a director as well. He's directed a film called Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2014.
Right.
A really, really good version
of
Street Fighter. Yeah, it's got Ken and Ryu and Akuma and Goku.
Wow.
Not Goku, sorry. Goki. Who's like the sort of teacher.
Because he came in afterwards in the games, right?
So this guy, he has one line in the film, or a couple of lines. There's one bit where he speaks French, and there's another part where he speaks a bit. But usually, I mean, even in Bourne, he didn't get any lines.
No.
But he's a hidden gem.
Okay.
This guy's a hidden gem. Look out for this guy. Yeah.
Up and coming.
Give a shout out to this guy because he's done well. You know, he's trained in martial arts, and he's been a stunt person, but he's also a director. So you may think these people are sort of background artists, but he is much more than meets the eye.
Yeah,
so
of course.
His name's Joey Ansa.
Okay, Joey Ansa. No, brilliant. Well done, Joey.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Desh.
But I mean, like you said, like, you know, there's a lot of kind of things in the movie which hark back to the original ones, episode 1, 2 and 3. So I do like that. At the end of the film, he's hanging with the rock climbing. That goes back to the second one.
Yeah. How did it?
It's just like
it should be slipping, man.
This guy, I know.
It should be fall out. Should be fall down. Mate.
Like I said before, so like for me, his neck should be broken by that motorbike scene. He should have been in hospital after that.
Yeah.
With the helicopter, he should have some limbs taken away, right? This is like, you know, crazy. But what brings it all together is Tom Cruise. The fact that, you know, he's believable and he is...
It's got that Tom Cruise run that no one else can do. When he runs, it looks like he's really moving.
And apparently, they did research on this, scientifically proven in all the films that he runs in, it equates to box office success.
Is it?
Yeah. The more Tom Cruise runs. In, the more successful the Tom Cruise film is. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Serious.
It's absolutely
this one
crazy.
He ran a lot on the rooftops and stuff, so I'm not surprised.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah. Tom Cruise can run, mate.
What do we think of Henry Cavill as the villain?
I liked him. Yeah, he was good. He was good. Yeah, he was convincing. He was beefy. He can't put his arms down. But yeah, I mean, I think he should have just put, opened his shirt and turned into Superman and bust them all up.
Yeah. But like, you could definitely see him there. And and this is kind of a bit of trivia, and I'm not naming here. When I met, this is no joke. So when I met Henry, he was making Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay.
So he'd filmed the Justice League stuff.
Yeah.
And there was the whole moustache gate.
Yeah.
So I was speaking to him about it, and I said to him, "So tell us about your experience working on this film." And he said to me, he goes, like, Tom Cruise is complete professional.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And, he takes his time over stuff. And if something's not working right, and, he breaks things down for you,
yeah.
which I thought, this is amazing. Like, I'm not only am I speaking to Henry Cavill, but we're talking about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was like brilliant. So big shout out to Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought him being a villain, because think about it, he's Superman.
Yeah.
And for him to take a villain role.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
he's diverse.
Back in the day, a lot of actors, they wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
he's kind of branching out. So for you, in the whole kind of like Mission Impossible franchise,
second best for me, I reckon.
You think it's second best?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not by like a massive gap, but I did enjoy it. Maybe it's because it's so recent in my mind. But
sure.
I mean, for me, I do like the John Woo one. I just like that, the doves, But
what's happened to John Woo?
John Woo, he's chilling. He does a lot of stuff in China as well. So maybe we don't always get it, but John Woo. I mean, like I said, Face Off again with Travolta and Cage, Doves,
which I love that film. I
love film.
I love that movie, man.
Heavy film.
Brilliant. But okay, in terms of like going forward, because I think this is like every 2-3 years they bring out a Mission Impossible film.
Yeah.
Could this be the last? Should this be the last one?
Nah.
Or
the box office will tell them to make another one. They're going to make another one.
Yeah.
If this is going to do well, they're not going to say no to money. And it looks like the sort of the Universal Mummyverse or whatever they try to do is not going to kick off. So Tom Cruise might have some more time on his hands.
Yeah, and hopefully they won't wait as long as hopefully it's just a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I don't think people are bored of Mission Impossible.
No. If they can keep it fresh, then I think it will still work. Yeah. It will still work.
The only thing for me is I think should the stakes now be a bit higher where someone in the team is like killed, or dies or something.
Ooh, I can see them killing, is it Luther? What's his name? I can see him killing, because he looked kind of tired in this film.
He did,
There's a couple of moments where he got really emotional.
Yeah.
He did look tired, and I actually thought maybe he might die.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe he might die, but he didn't. I'm glad he didn't, but he did look kind of tired, like almost to say, this could be my last one.
Yeah. Because I think he's in his 50s as well.
Yeah. He's definitely, you can see he's like, obviously, he's not a young guy, No. But yeah, I think if anyone's like killable, he's going to be it's going to be him, I reckon. I know it's bad to say, but he's not going to be able to run, is he?
Exactly. So, but yeah, and maybe like Jeremy Renner, he comes back for the next one.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how many.
Oh shit!
How many bombs would you give it?
How many nuclear bombs? Right.
Yeah,
okay.
How many nuclear bombs?
So for this, I would give it a solid 8.
8, yeah. Okay.
I'll give it a solid 8. But I'm giving like 4 and 5. They would just be a bit more, so they'd probably be about 8.5.
8.5. Okay. I'll probably thinking about you run out of water. I'm gonna give it about a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
About a 7.5, but it's good. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's negative at all. It's a good 7.5, solid.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like apart from those few things which I was
that's
like the motorbike and the helicopter bit.
That would have brought it up for me otherwise. But
yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, watch Mission Impossible Fallout. It's definitely worth what you got to watch it on the big screen.
Yeah.
You have
it needs to be.
It needs to be seen on the big screen. Watch it for the ankle break.
Yes. Yeah. They left it in there. Yeah.
Left it in there, and also let us know if you notice the physic. Tom Cruise's physic. His body actually changes.
He's in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that break, you'll see a difference in his face.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, he was out for 6 months.
Yeah.
So he probably had to put on a bit of weight. He wasn't training and stuff like that.
Oh. So actually, someone on Instagram did see Mission Impossible Fallout, and he mentioned he liked it. So Corey, shout out to Corey for the mention on Instagram. He mentioned he liked it a lot. Lots of action. He's really into his action films. So yeah, he enjoyed it.
Brilliant.
So cool. Nice one, Corey.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. Okay, so and what else are we reviewing?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a quick review of You Were Never Really Here.
I thought I was.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He's just a life model decoy.
Okay, so by the way, I love the title.
Yeah, it's this title, I mean, it's the same writer and director as We Need to Talk About Kevin. So already that tells you
Lynn
what
Ramsey.
kind of, what kind of, how do you pull out these names out of the sky? What is wrong with you? 'Cause I couldn't remember. I saw it last night. But yeah, it's a really good. I mean, we talked about Joaquin Phoenix. He's the lead in this role. Joaquin Phoenix being the Joker in this new sort of Joker film.
Yeah.
Watching this film, I can see it.
Really?
I can see it.
Dark or
dark? I can see. I mean, before it, I still thought, he could do a good job. But watching this film, the range that he pulls off, and
wicked.
He's twisted in this film a little bit.
Okay.
I can see it.
So this film, give me the setup.
It's not a straightforward film, you know. I think I've even got to see it again. No, it's not a straightforward film.
Okay.
It's only 90 minutes, including the credits and stuff. So it's quite a quick film as well.
Yeah.
But the overall premise is that Joaquin Phoenix, he's got a funny setup. He lives with his mum.
Yeah.
He's a mature guy. He lives with his mum. His mum's not in the best of health. There's a little bit of a bit of friction there, but obviously he's still got to look after her because she's got no one else.
Sure.
It starts off by, there's a little bit of not much of they don't really tell you too much about his past, but you understand that he's got a past. So maybe he's some sort of war veteran or something. He's got a particular set of skills as well. He's good with weapons and he's fearless. So I kind of think he's been like a soldier of some sort.
Sure.
But it's not totally clear.
Right.
Or maybe I missed it. Tell me, guys, did I miss that? But he goes around doing deeds. He's like a hero for hire almost.
Right.
Like a mercenary.
Yeah.
So he gets paid doing these deeds and, you know, breaking heads of people that are bad and need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So you see him doing a few minor deeds. It really starts off and you see that he's done something for someone, because you see him cleaning up. Because the thing with him is that anything he does, it can't come back to him.
Yeah.
He was never really there.
Oh, I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just, you know, he wasn't there, so he's got to clean up. So you see him cleaning up blood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He likes using the hammer as well. So hammer time. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he does these things, he gets paid, it's quite shady. You never know what these people have done. They don't really fully explain things. A lot of things are left open.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out for yourself.
Sure.
But he comes across this this ring of I don't know if you can call them a ring or a sort of organization. No, that's too posh for them. No, they're like a seedy scum group that are into trafficking young girls.
Okay.
And these young girls are used for disgusting things. And he comes across that and he takes that one really to heart. And he obviously has to deal with these people in his unsavory ways, you know. And there's a few scenes in the film where he really deals with people. Kind of a little bit kind of reminds me of that Old Boy scene where he's going through dealing with people. Yeah. He's got a hammer.
So is this for Joaquin Phoenix? Is this his most kind of like physical role that you've seen him in?
Yes.
Like is there like fighting, shooting, and
there's violence. Yeah, there's violence in this film.
And I love how you said violence.
Yeah, I don't want to be specific too much, but there's violence.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see him stripped bare. You see him, his shirt off.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's like normally stature wise, but he looks like he's put on a bit.
Is he? Oh right, okay. Yeah, I was going to say like he's not ripped or
he's not ripped.
Pumped.
No, he's not ripped at all. I would say, but he's got mass to him.
Right.
So he looks like a guy that's lived. He's got scars everywhere. So he's lived and he's gone through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
His beard, he's disheveled and all that. So he's just, he's out there.
Yeah.
But it also lends to his his style of violence is unorthodox and just rugged and not clean.
Right.
So it's just a bit kind of thing, you know.
Okay.
But also he's a bit of an introverted character.
Sure.
So he's not gonna be. He doesn't talk a lot. A lot of the communication comes from his body language and his looks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he deals with the matter. He deals with the matter, and yeah, it's just this film. If anyone's seen, we need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah.
You'll understand that this film it's not like a straightforward beginning, middle and end.
Sure.
It doesn't also give you everything, because even as I'm describing it now, I watched it last night.
Yeah.
Less than 24 hours, and to me, it's still not. I've got to see it again because it's still not a film that you sometimes can take in straight away, which I like, because it means you got to revisit and you learn more as you watch.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those films. I was watching the top 10 films that have been out this year so far. This was number 2.
Whoa.
This was number 2. Okay. Number 1, what was it? I think number 1 was either Unsane, or was Black Panther. Wicked. This was number 1, like not box office, but just like really well received.
Well received films.
Yeah, exactly. This was number 2.
Okay, that's saying something.
Yeah, this was number 2, mate. Yeah, so this needs to be watched. Okay. This film, and I'm not going to give away too much. I want people to see it, because if I give it away, this film's not going to be worth watching.
Right. Okay.
But you see his relationship with this young girl, and you know, it obviously brings memories back of his past and stuff. You see why he's so invested in this one.
Sure.
So I think for this one, I don't think he's even getting paid for it. I'm not sure.
So it's personal.
He sort of takes it on, because he sort of comes about it in a way that he's doing his other work and stuff, and he comes about this one, and he just sort of, You
know what? It sounds wicked.
Doesn't give you much, but you just got to take what they give you and work out the rest.
And tell me about Joaquin Phoenix's performance. Is it like anything that we've seen before? Like, I remember, because a couple of days ago I watched on TV Gladiator. No.
This is very, very different.
Yeah.
This is very different. This is not like nothing I've seen him play before. He's a good actor. He's very, very dynamic, very versatile.
Sure.
But he's just a different guy in this. In this one, he I don't know what preparation he done, but whatever he done it well.
So you believe that he could actually be this person?
Yeah. I believed it. Literally, I believed it.
Yeah.
That's why I said he can be the Joker.
Yeah.
He can be a dark Joker.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. Some of his facial expressions and just some of the stuff he does is just, it's dark.
Okay.
And he could do a good job. I can see him as a Joker now. I can literally see him, but not no joke Joker.
Like a dark, brooding, like calculating.
A no joke Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a no joke Joker.
And it just makes me think, like, I can't remember the last film that I saw Joaquin Phoenix in.
I've not seen him in many films. I mean, one of the first films I saw him in, I think, was probably Gladiator. And I think Signs. I saw him in Signs.
With Mel Gibson.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah. So, so he's got this, like, his shoulders, like he's got a funny kind of, not funny, but he's got like a unique stance.
Yeah.
It lends to the film. He's like, his shoulders are like inwards, and he's like, he's not your classic sort of hunk Hollywood guy, but he's exactly what this role needed.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
He's good.
And in terms of like supporting cast, strong, or is it just
strong? But strong, no one I can tell you about. No one I recognise, which is you would never really hear, mate. Do you know what I mean? They don't want too many stars in this, because you would never really hear. It's not meant to be about the stars. It's meant to be about the action, the story, and the aftermath, and all of that. You know, just the way it's shot, the music. Some of the music's a bit 80s actually, a little bit 80s kind of. So, but it's set in modern times. But it's kind of a bit retro, and some of the camera angles, they linger.
Sure.
And they get you involved and stuff. So it's good. It's well made.
Yeah.
This director, it's actually quite an independent in production. Film 4 backed it. BFI
from the
BFI
UK.
backed it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not, you sometimes you watch these films and you think you're going to have the same sort of studios and people, but
so it's like
this one's
like
independent. So that's
film.
probably had to hustle to get the money for this film. Actually, that's why there's only one major name in it.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, because probably all the what do we call it? The
budget.
The budget went on him, hiring him.
Exactly, yeah. And then obviously the rest of it. But yeah, it's a well-made film.
Oh, okay,
well-made film. I'm going to watch it again. For now, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
But I need to watch it again.
Okay.
And I think it's definitely worth a 2 watch for most people.
Definitely. Okay, I'm going to definitely hunt that down.
So you will never really hear needs to be watched.
Okay. Thanks for that. No, I'm going to hunt that one down. All right. So
I don't know if you guys have where you're listening or watching in the world, but in the UK it's been really, really hot. Really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
But over the past couple of days we've had a lot of rain.
Yes.
And this rain has flourished my hidden gem garden.
Okay.
So I've had a few blossoming gems that I didn't actually think were there. Yeah. And luckily for you guys, you're going to benefit from the rain recently. So
tell me about this. Tell me about this one.
Compliance. You've never heard of compliance?
Bro, where are you?
I like the look on your face. If I say hidden gem and you don't know it, I'm in the right place.
Yes, because where the hell are you plucking these from, man?
Compliance, mate. When I say to you compliance, what does it mean to you? I
think like office building regulations, like, whether or not you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You're correct. You're correct in your interpretation of compliance. You're looking at it from a sort of business perspective.
Yeah.
But compliance, think of it in the most raw form. The word to comply is to do. It's to respond to an action or to a request or a command, basically.
Yeah.
Compliance is based on a true story.
Tell me. Keep talking.
A person called a fast food restaurant and pretended to be a police officer, called the manager of that store and told the manager to do things, or told the manager a situation was occurring that they had to respond to and listen to his commands and do everything he said. Yeah, this person was a fake. But they got the manager to comply to certain things.
Like what?
I'm not going to give away too many spoilers, but I will say one thing the manager does do. The person tells the manager that one of their staff is a thief or something. They have committed crimes and so on.
Yeah.
And the manager has to search the person, this member of staff. The manager does search the person. He tells the manager, you've got to search them more. This person's known to us. They have this, they have that. You've got to do a strip search. So the manager...
Holy...
Yeah, so...
Is this a documentary or is this a film?
It's a film. Do you know who's in this film?
Who?
Our friend from Hereditary and...
What, Toni Collette?
No, the lady who... She's in Hereditary and she's also in The Leftovers.
Oh, fuck her.
Yeah.
She's creepy. Yeah,
when she's around, shit goes down.
Shit goes down.
Yeah. She's the manager of the store. So, yeah.
So this person is...
Impersonates a police officer.
Right. And she's the manager, so she's doing all the stuff for him.
Yeah. So basically police are committed through this person, falsely impersonating the police officer and getting them in the store to do things. Crimes are committed.
This is genius.
And it's a true story. It's based on a true story. Compliance. So think of it. Someone calls you and tells you what to do.
Yeah, you're complying.
Exactly. And there was a documentary, Darren Brown had a documentary on, it's called The Push.
Right.
Came on Netflix. It's still on Netflix. It's a really good documentary, guys, if you want to see it. It's called The Push, where a bit of compliance takes effect, where there's even one bit where he, even before the show started, it's like a test. He calls a coffee shop and says to the person in the coffee shop, hello, I'm a police officer. My name's Sergeant blah, 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 blah. Just so you know, we're monitoring a lady who's a known kidnapper of children. Can you see a lady to your right? She's got a pushchair with a baby in it. The pushchair is a blue pushchair with black wheels. And he's like, yes, I can. He's like, okay. So don't panic. The moment she leaves the baby, like she turns or anything like that, I want you to get the pushchair, push the baby outside of the store, go to your right, 50 yards, and we will secure the baby. The guy does it.
Oh.
He takes this compliance. It's like people will do. If you say you're a member, you know,
a person of authority
figure,
yeah,
people are likely to comply. This film is testament. That documentary, Derren Brown, is testament of that. And think about yourself as a person.
Yeah.
You know, if a police officer calls you, are you going to say, "Oh no, I ain't going to do it," or you know, or someone of authority?
Yeah.
Are you going to comply? This film is a hidden gem. It's worth a watch.
I
invite you, audience. I invite you, Amar, to watch this film. It's really good. It's not a long film.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Okay.
It's a hidden gem.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem. And it's a true story.
Oh shit! You know what? That it's brilliant as it is of how you described it.
Yeah.
But when you turn around and say, "Oh, it's based on a true story," as well, that like fucking some guy could call in a shop and like do this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. What made it even worse is that they had trouble prosecuting some of the crimes because the people that were actually doing the crimes were being told by someone else, and the person that was doing it, even though they're committing a crime, who's responsible.
Right.
So the case was quite difficult to prosecute. It's got its twists to it. So
fucking hell.
Okay, so hidden gem number 1. So hidden gem number 2 now is called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I don't. Your look tells me you may have heard of it.
Is it alien related?
No.
Okay.
No. So The Autopsy of Jane Doe stars Brian Cox, our good friend Brian Cox.
General Stryker.
Cox, yeah, exactly. And this is a bit of a horror film.
Okay.
And it's about Brian Cox's character. He's an autopsy person. I can't remember what they're called, but you know, the person that conducts autopsies. And he's got like an assistant. It's late on I think Friday evening, and a body comes in. Jane Doe. It's bog standard, you know, case. They think it's going to be an easy one. It turns out that there's much more than meets the eye with this one. Yeah. And all kinds of shit happens when Jane Doe's body enters the building and they start to cut her open. It's like they realise, like, I don't know, it's like
what? It's like supernatural, or
some supernatural things happen, but also the body almost looks like it's not dead, or she's been autopsied already, or something. There's something that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then other shit, supernatural, starts happening.
Oh wow!
So it's like as they go deeper into the autopsy, shit starts to go down that they can't explain, and it just goes crazy. Also, another person in this film is Roose Bolton from Game of Thrones. I can't remember the actor's name, but
bastard,
Roose Bolton. He's in this film as well. He plays a sheriff.
Okay, but so what? Set in America?
Set in America, yeah, set in America. But it's one of those. It's like when I watched it, I thought, okay, let me see what this horror film is about.
Yeah,
Autopsy Jane Doe, whatever. It's twisty and turny. It's worth a watch. Yeah, it's like with all my hidden gems. I don't want to spoil it for the audience or for you.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, it's quite psychological. It's quite patient. Yeah, it's not just about jump scares. It takes its time. Yeah, and the acting's really good as well.
Yeah, I mean Brian Cox is he's brilliant.
He's a good actor.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's been around for a while, so
it's a good hidden gem.
Okay,
it's a good hidden gem.
Devout is on a roll here, man. Seriously, this is fantastic.
This next one, I don't know if you've seen this one. You have seen it, haven't you?
This film is
Midnight Special. 2016.
I remember watching this in the cinema, and I can admit this now. Where I used to work, a company that I used to work for was near a cinema.
Okay. So
one afternoon, I ditched work and I watched this.
Oh, was this a company in Wembley by any chance?
Yeah, it is. and the thing is, right? It's got that Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton.
And
Michael Shannon, who
General
Zod. Yeah.
And I read the synopsis of this film, and I was just
Kirsten
like,
Dunst as well. I think is in the film.
And then I read the kind of the synopsis for it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm sold. Yeah. I am absolutely sold on this film.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, like, how do we describe what this film is?
This film, if anyone's seen a film on Netflix at the moment called what's that film with Natalie Portman where they go to that
Annihilation?
Annihilation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's not like that, but it's almost like it's not a straightforward. You get all the answers straight away.
Yeah,
it's patient. It draws you in. It keeps you interested. You're thinking, what is going on?
Yeah,
what it's one of those ones, and I like the way it pays it off bit by bit. You get bits of an event or bits of I guess an explanation, or you get to see something a bit sciencey or magical, and you think, wow, what could be happening next, or what's the fuss over this kid, because it's about the kid, isn't it? The kid is like the magic, or he's got the secrets.
Yeah, so you could say he's like almost like a messiah type of thing.
Yeah,
and you know, you've got the kid has a following.
Yeah.
The kid needs to go from one place to another place, and it's the job of Michael Shannon and
Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton to take him to this place.
Exactly.
And we don't know the reason. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if all of this is true. But there's definitely something special about this boy. Yeah. And then you got the authorities after the
because I think they know that he's capable of something. And like all authorities, they're afraid of what they don't understand, or they want to have control of anything that could be a so-called threat.
Definitely.
So they're on the hunt to keep this guy and get this kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good film. It's one that needs to be watched, and probably a couple of times. But
definitely,
it does have a good ending, doesn't it? From what I remember,
the payoff.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at the end of the movie, I thought to myself, yes, brilliant. Like, what happens next?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are we going to see this?
That's why I sort of compared it to Annihilation a bit, because you want to know what's going to happen next.
I know,
kind of thing.
But I think the director, I don't know who the director was. I can't remember the name of the director. Maybe they just made it as a one-off.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of to leave the audience hanging and thinking about, right, what is going to happen next. But definitely, clearly, they could make another one.
Yeah.
Whether or not they all come back for a second part, I don't know. But it's definitely a great film to watch, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's one that went under the radar. It was released in cinema, but not a lot of people I know of saw it.
Totally.
But it's a good film. It's worth a watch. Definitely. And it's very, very accessible at the moment for you to find.
And Michael Shannon is great. I mean, he's a great actor. Edgerton is doing loads of good stuff at the moment as well. So
exactly. And then the last hidden gem I have is Under the Skin.
Yeah. So
2013, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
My friend, my fellow twin.
Of course.
And I did see her the other day.
Yeah.
And well,
how's she doing, by the way?
Yeah, she's doing well.
Listen, look, we've got a seat here. So if she wants to come along and chat about stuff.
No, she doesn't like a third wheel. She doesn't like a third wheel. Okay, I'm going to admit to our Flicksters, and I'm going to admit to you that I saw Under the Skin, and I watched it really late at night about a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. And were you a bit sleepy when you're watching it?
I was a bit sleepy, and I think after about 45 minutes, I fell asleep.
So you missed the good bit when she got naked.
There was, listen, up until that point, I've heard a lot about this film.
Yeah.
So, filmed in Scotland.
Yeah.
Filmed with a lot of unactors or people who are non-actors.
Yeah.
You know, filmed with a camera on the dashboard, and they didn't know that they were being filmed, and they were told about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's about an alien who comes to Earth.
Yeah.
And needs to feed, or needs the energy, or is here to observe. And
she's from, we don't know where she's from. She takes on Scarlett Johansson's form. And so at the start of the film, you see her. She's got just underwear in a white room. She's putting on clothes and just assuming her form. And you're right, she goes around. She drives around in a white van. Luring people to go out clubbing with them, and then brings them back to her house, and we see it unfold. We see that she's got a hidden agenda,
right?
But it's how this is portrayed on screen, not just visually, but the audio, the music is very, very unsettling. There's parts in this where you just feel on edge. You feel like your skin's crawling because the music is a bit like unorthodox and unhinging. But also you got this like gorgeous Scarlett Johansson that you know from Avengers and all sorts of great films, and she's really weird in the film. She's not really herself as we know her. But that's really, really good, because it's like, as an alien, the inside, her inside is unearthly, but her exterior is, gorgeous and earthly.
Yeah.
But it's an interior that we need to worry about.
Yeah.
And we know it, but her unsuspecting victims don't. And like you say, there are some people in this film that are not actors, didn't know they were being filmed. And the way she interacts with them, it's crazy.
It's mad. Like there's a bit in the film which, from what I remember, is she stops up and she says, "Oh, do you know where the so and so is?"
Yeah.
So the person, the window's down, and he turns around and he says, "Oh, look, you need to go take a left and turn right and do this and do that." And the way she's so calm,
yeah,
and the way she's just kind of like dealing with this person. Now, that person. Did they know that was Scarlett Johansson?
Maybe not. They thought they're pulled.
Yeah.
She's a hot girl, and they thought, oh yeah, I can tell you, or I can come with you.
Yeah, because those eyes,
yeah,
the way that she lures people in with her eyes, it's like, hey, do you want to come along? Do you want to come with me? And the guys, they jump in the van, and what it just made me think is just like, you have a beautiful woman, right, who is like that. It says, "Oh, look, can you take me there and show me where?"
It's too good to be true, man.
Exactly,
I'm telling you, man. It's too good to be true.
It's like,
what's
game
in that
over.
van? Who's in that van? Nah, mate. Because people will fall for it because some of these people are like, they're not like, no disrespect to them, but she's way out of their league.
Big time.
Way out of their league, and she's showing them attention. They're thinking, shit, I'm in there,
yeah. And then she picks up this one guy, and he's skinny and whatnot. And then she says, take your clothes off and whatnot, man. And you see him dancing around.
Yeah.
And
man,
God,
crazy.
There's
one scene in it, I think about an hour in, that you missed. I'm not going to give away any more spoilers, but this is the last thing I'll spoil. But there's a scene where she goes fully Starkers.
Really?
Like, I don't mean Tony Stark. I mean, she goes fully, she goes fully naked.
Yeah.
Like breasts, vagina, you see it all because she's an alien, but she's sort of looking at her form.
Right.
And she's in a mirror looking at this, and I was shocked. This is a low budget, independent movie, in Scotland. It's not anything that's massive for Hollywood, and for this film, maybe she thought maybe not a lot of people would see it. Yeah, but I saw it.
Yeah.
I rewound it about 10 times.
I will see it.
But yeah, she goes fully naked, and that's just out of the blue.
Now, is it a film that you have to watch a couple of times just to get your head round, or to make sense of it?
No, I don't think so. I think this one you can watch just once, and you will sort of get it, and you'll be a bit shocked and be like, oh, what the heck was that about? You know, but. Yeah, it's a one-timer, I think. I think you can get it in one. You can get it in one, so it's definitely worth a watch.
And don't you think, mad props to Scarlett Johansson for making this film? Yeah. Because she had made
this was
Avengers,
a year after Avengers, just a year after Avengers, So she's this big Hollywood star. Yeah. And she's come down to Scotland making a small budget film. Yeah. I think from what I understand, it was filmed in quite a quick turnaround.
Probably about 10 days or something like that.
No, I think a bit more than that, but it was filmed in, I think, about 4 weeks or 5 weeks, or even maybe less, to be honest. But yeah, it was, you're right. It was really, really quick turnaround. So they had and done everything they had. They've done everything they needed to do quickly, because obviously she costs money, doesn't she? Yeah,
exactly. Because the longer she's there.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think and a part of me believes, if you're going to get in a big Hollywood star, you say to that person, look, we only need you for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And you might have to do 15, 16 hours. Yeah. But this is the time that we've got you. But just going back a bit, one thing that did kind of shock me was this happens at the beginning of the film, the baby on the beach.
Oh, damn. Why can't I remember that?
I thought this was bad. Cold-blooded.
Oh, was it the baby crying and she left it or something?
Yeah. And
oh, damn. Yeah.
And for me, that was holy shit, man. She goes to the beach, she takes the woman's clothes, she goes, the baby crying, the baby is just left on the beach on their own. And I was just this is cold-blooded. Yeah. This is I
guess she doesn't care. She's inhumane.
She can't get anything from the baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. The baby can't give her what she needs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just to kind of that whole thought, but it was such an unsettling scene because the baby is crying, and as you know, I've got a kid, so it's it's amplified.
Exactly.
And when I saw that, I was shit, man, this is but I'll admit I haven't seen the whole film, But it is a film that I will go back and revisit and watch.
Definitely finish it off.
Wow. Okay, so ladies and gents, that's Under the Skin from 2013.
2013, yeah, 5 years ago.
All right, brilliant.
If we had an anniversary corner for 5 years, that would be it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so does that bring us to the end of the show?
Sadly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so sadly we've come to the end of the road.
End of the road.
As Boyz II Men would say. But we will be back.
We will be back, like Schwarzenegger said.
Exactly.
We'll be back.
So next week we've got
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Review.
And also, Deval, there's a film that we need to watch. It's an Amazon exclusive starring Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ewan McGregor. Okay.
So it's just been released on Amazon Prime. It's called Zoe. Or
Zoe. Okay.
Or Zoe.
Okay.
So I read the reviews of this, and it's an interesting take. It's sci-fi, but also to do with relationships.
Okay.
And how you can create your perfect person, and whether or not that perfect person is for you.
Okay, a bit like Her.
And which takes us to Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. Again. Oh yeah. Oh, I have seen him in more films actually.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Her.
Oh, you ain't?
I haven't seen Her.
Her's good. Scarlett Johansson is
the voice.
The voice, but she wasn't originally the voice. They used someone else, made the film, everything was done, and they realised afterwards, nah, it's just not right.
What?
So then they got Scarlett Johansson to do the voiceover after
harsh.
It was all said and done. Yeah.
That's harsh for the actress.
If you hear Scarlett Johansson's voice is husky, I like it. And it's just so perfect for the film.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So Ant-Man the Wasp, we'll check out Zoe.
Yeah.
And
a whole lot more.
And a whole lot more.
Because things are starting to kick off now. We're getting more. Our sources are giving us more information about bits and bobs. So you guys are going to get it next week.
You are going to get it.
For sure.
And just finally, just before we go, I just want to say congratulations.
For what?
Episode 11.
Episode 11.
Seriously,
oh
mate.
Oh my gosh, I know.
This is episode 11, and I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, thank you, man. This was like literally out of the blue.
Exactly.
For guys that don't know, we literally didn't plan much. We just started this.
We said, look, let's do this. Let's get cracking on, and boom, we're here in the airwaves. So, like, you know what? Thank you so much. Episode 11. Thank you, ladies and gents, for downloading this week's episode. We really, really, really appreciate it. Let us know how you feel on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. It's all there for you.
All of it. And again, subscribe to our show and send us a message. Actually, the code for the message, you just need to start your message with 11. So we know you listened.
I love
put
that.
It in with, put 11 and shout your message or whatever it is, and then you will get your free cinema code to watch a film of your choice at any View or Cineworld cinema in the UK. So yes, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.